We're drafting live right now on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty on Underdog Fantasy. Weekly winners doing it live. $15 entry. And the prizes in this are phenomenal. These are weekly prizes. Every single week, each week independent from the next week. That means there's no week 17 prize. There's no season-long prize. That means week 1 has nothing to do with week 17. Week 15 has nothing to do with week 10. Nothing has to do with anything. But right then and now and here and then and how, and click the link and do it live. Go.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
So we will be jumping straight into the draft in one moment. Let's let everybody file on in, but I'm going to drop the link in the live chat for you right this very second. The Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty link is right here. And Underdog will be matching up to $100 on your first deposit. If you're new to Underdog, they will give you $100 if you put in $100. If you put in the minimum of $10, they will give you $10. So you have $20 to play with. And so just drop your first deposit wisely, because you will get it matched if you're new to Underdog. And we're about to get in there. I pinned the live link right there. So click that link. It has promo code Smitty inserted for you when you click it. I'm wearing my Grindhouse gear. Grindhouse.
You are
Not entering the panic chamber yet, but Grindhouse right here. I'm wearing my Grindhouse gear, and I'm keeping it awfully chilly here in the studio, enough to where I can actually wear this, and it feels pretty comfortable right now. I don't mind wearing my Grindhouse apparel at night. I even sometimes wear my sunglasses at night. Hoodies and sunglasses. Do it live at Underdog Fantasy. Do it live at Grindhouse. These are the two sponsors of pretty much every show we do, and I love both of them. I really do. I really love the two main sponsors of the show this year. Grindhouse, GRNDHAUS. Let me drop that link in the live chat as well. Get yourself some Grindhouse apparel. Where is that link when I need it? Grindhouse. Here we go. Go buy your Grindhouse gear. I love this gear. I do. I wear it all the time. I'm not even joking. It's got King Kong versus Godzilla spider. I love this yellow. I gotta find it. I don't even know where it went. I might have to order another one. The yellow spider hoodie is my favorite one that they have. I'm wearing right now the red Reptilicus right here. It's amazing, fantastic. 40 years, movies from 40 years ago, straight from the attic. Love it, love it, love it. Time to do it live. Click the green button right now on weekly winners. Click it now. I'm going to wait 4 seconds because there's a YouTube delay, and then I'm jumping in, and we have it's filled. If you missed it, don't fret. Don't get upset. Just jump in one right behind us and draft alongside of us. Don't even let it bother you. Like, some people get really upset and they go, Smitty, I'm not in this one. Smitty, I'm not in this one. Like, some of you don't look like you might have got in a lot of different names in here. I can't control it. Sometimes I feel like they might have more than one draft too that you could jump into. Doesn't matter. Jump in alongside of everybody else. What pick am I? I'm drafting from the 11. From the 11, I don't hate the 11, but I don't love the 11. Jump into a draft regardless if you got in this one or not. This one's starting here in T-minus, I don't know, 10 seconds? 10 seconds. All right, let's see here. Let me get into this draft. All right, on the clock is MB, whatever your name is. Appreciate all of you in here. Who's in here tonight? Who is in here tonight? Phone lines are wide open. We got a super chat straight out of the gate. Bryson dropping a $10 hauler. Bryson, first super chat of the evening. Always gets a standing ovation. If I ever forget, you say Smitty stand. You salute your first super chatter.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Grindhouse, baby. Grindhouse. Bryson says 10-man PPR, 2 flex, 1 QB. T-Law Russell Wilson. Running back is Walker. Charbonnet, Stevenson, great running back stable. J.K. Dobbins, Breece Hall, goodness gracious, bro. Najee Harris, Garrett Wilson, Olave, London. Bro, come on. Hawkinson. 10-man, yeah, right, Bryson. 10-man Grandma League. Come on, bro. What are we doing here? Am I winning the league? I think so. You better win the league. You don't win the league on that, you're taking a lap. Guy comes in with all the moon men. Here's the thing. Is Bryson crazy? Probably not. I bet you Bryson did draft this team. I trust Bryson, number one. So I know he's not trying to pull my leg. But what I do know is that a lot of times, and this is a 1 QB, so he's got his T-Law, and then he's got Stevenson, Walker, Charbonnet. Those guys are going Walker in the 5th round with a bunch of grandmas. I mean, that's just the way it is. Breece Hall, 3rd rounder. J.K. Dobbins goes late. Olave and London are very undervalued outside of our community to an extreme degree. The draft so far here, Bryson, fantastic. Smitty. Okay, so Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, and I'm two picks and then I'm up. 2 picks and then your boy is up, and I'm going to draft. If I had to guess, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson combination may be coming up, unless the guy in the 12th spot is from our community and he snipes me. Okay, so I'm on the clock here. On the clock. Oh, Bijan's there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks.
All right, hold on. Let's just draft him real quick. There we go. Bijan at the 11.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
When you get Bijan Robinson at the 11.
Mashed potatoes.
We're on the clock. 21 seconds. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Amon-Ra. This is a tough choice between Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra. I'll be honest, I go back and forth. I know Garrett Wilson's my boy, but I love St. Brown this year. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson here. Going balanced. I'm coming out of rounds 1 and 2 with Bijan and Garrett Wilson. 2 guys, one of which is in my top 3. He's my top 3. He's my number 3. Behind the 2 wide receivers, Chase, JJ, Bijan. Chase, JJ, it's like a sprinkler. Chase, JJ, Bijan. Rinse and repeat. Chase, JJ, Bijan. I'm getting my number 3 guy at 11, and Garrett Wilson's top 8 to 12. Top 8 to 12. Unbelievable. Hurts and Devontae Smith stack at the 12th spot. That's not horrible, but that's definitely not one of our people, I don't think. So Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Wags at the 7. What's he doing? Patrick Mahomes, I bet he want to hurt so bad. I bet he hurts down deep that he didn't get Hurts. Taking A.J. Brown, I bet he thought maybe he was going to get him. But you can't complain with Mahomie. By the way, Ron Navy finds out the results to the PET scan on Wednesday, so we're sending
to the moon.
Miss Navy to the moon. We're sending her to wherever we need to send her, whatever's the most best place to send somebody. I don't know. The moon feels like it. I feel like the moon is the best. Mars? No, we're sending her to Mars.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
We're sending her to Mars. Ron, appreciate you, and guys, drop some prayer emojis for Ron Navy and Miss Navy. So, Ron, we're going to be awaiting those Wednesday results, so you better tell us as soon as you know. Patrick Mahomes, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce. Jalen Waddle, Travis Kelce is an interesting pairing there. Christian McCaffrey, Lamar. I think Lamar, what are we doing there in the 21 spot? What are we doing there in the 21 spot with Lamar Jackson in the 2nd round? Are we out of our minds? This isn't my guy. This is, Lady Gronk. Yeah, I mean, it isn't one of our guys. It's Lady Gronk. Lady Gronk, if you are one of our our lady listeners or followers or viewers, I apologize. But Lady Gronk, I don't think is one of ours. Lamar in the 21 hole? Lamar in the 21 hole? I don't think so. Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Joe Burrow, I figured this could happen with that number 2 drafter, maybe stacking the Burrow and Nick Chubb and Jamar Chase. So that's a little disappointing that we lost out on the Joe Burrow situation, but that's okay. Chris Olave, I didn't think he was going to slip to us, but that's a steal there. Tiger at the 3 hole has Cooper Kupp, JT, and Olave. That's a pretty good pairing. Joe Burrow, Nick Chubb, and Jamar at the 2 slots, really good. JJ, Tony Pollard, and Mark Andrews. Again, prayers up. You know, maybe we should send. I may have an extra Mars. Maybe we make a Mars, a Miss Mars card or something, and we send it to Miss Navy. I'll figure something out. Josh Jacobs, number 6 draft slot. Tyreek Adams, Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelce, Waddle, DK, AJ Brown, Patrick Mahomes, and Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, prayers up for Ron Navy and Miss Navy. Diggs, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Austin Eckler, Amon-Ra, and who? I'm feeling this is going to be one of my favorite weeklies teams that I've drafted. I got a lot of ballers still. Oh, Fields just went right before me. Is this one of ours? Who is this? Trooper, what are you doing, bro? That's right. You think you're getting one? You're pulling one over on me, bro. You're only tricking yourself, Cooper. You're only Hooper or whatever your name is. You're only hurting yourself. We'll go Christian Watson and Jahmyr Gibbs, my guy. Hopefully Gibbs falls to me. Fall to me, Gibbs. I should have went Gibbs first. I'm trying not to ruin his ADP. And I'm trying to set a good example for you guys. Don't go Gibbs. This guy doesn't have an RB. Yes!
You've just been Smitty approved.
Bijan, Garrett, Christian Watson, Jahmyr. Feeling good. Feeling pretty good right now. Keenan Allen and T. Higgins. I like T. Higgins. I do like T. Higgins. I don't draft him as high as everybody else. Keenan Allen in the 4th round, you can have him. To me, that's as bad as Jerry Jeudy in the 4th round. So you can have Jerry Jeudy too. We might be going light quarterback on this one. Look at this team, broskies. Look at this team. Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson. Feeling pretty good. I've had a little sugar tonight. I'm a little hopped up. Someone said I'm showing my emotions tonight. I'm a little hopped up tonight. I've been had a big old. I don't know if you saw my Instagram stories. Had a big old ice cream. I've had some weird sleep hours. You like Watson over T. Higgins? I do quietly. Mm-hmm. I think you can get away with, getting more. Not, it's not something like I feel like you don't necessarily have to draft Watson over Higgins. Higgins goes in round 2 sometimes. Jerry Jeudy, there's Jerry Jeudy in round 4. I do not like that, but that's fitting for this team. Jacobs, Jerry Jeudy. What's next? I don't know. Renfro? Like, what are we looking at here? Oh, and he's got Adams, too. I better be careful. I'm going to time out on something I don't want. But, yeah, Adams, Jacobs, and Jeudy. This team number 6 is not a follower of mine. You know that. I mean, not that people don't. I mean, obviously, everyone's got their own their own way of thinking, but I don't think I line up enough with a person that drafts like that. Maybe Goat is one of ours. Maybe he is. Goat, if you're one of ours, I apologize. I just can't imagine this is one of ours. Ready for Vegas? Yes, I am, Sam. I'm ready. Grab T. We're going to try for it. We're going to try for the Law Dog. I traded Higgins for London straight up in one league. You're smart. You're a smart man. In my opinion, you're a smart man.
You've just been Smitty
James says stacking isn't very important in this draft, in this format, the weeklies. I would venture to say I agree with you in theory, but the truth is we don't know. No one's played this format before, and so you can assume a lot of things. But the honest truth is the weeklies, there's a strategy that I think there's a Walker. Man, I wish Walker would have fallen to me. That would have been like the cherry on top, bro, if Kenneth Walker would have fallen all the way down. He doesn't usually, but he has before fallen all the way to the top of 5. Tiger might be one of our people because he took Olave, he took Kenneth Walker. It's possible that that's one of ours. That would have been it. That would have been the cherry on top. Let's see here who's available. It's kind of like drying up a little bit. I'm not. I highly doubt he falls. I don't know that Kadarius Toney. I mean, he's climbing up boards. I'm liking JSN a lot in this format for some reason. I mean, for a reason I can explain. The reason being that, you only need, if JSN is going to be inconsistent all year. Aaron Jones, there's no way Drake London falls to us. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. Isn't that the best, though, when you have some long stretch of picks like this? You're like, okay, 4 picks go by. There's no way it's going to happen. The guy at the top, there he goes, Drake London. The guy at the top can't stay available. I think that guy might be one of ours. Wags might be one of ours. Every time I have 1-4 figures. He's been with the QB with 2 of their wide receivers. I mean, it's definitely a good strategy if the offense is high octane, which is really what a part of that's about. It's not just about the stack; it's about the consistency in the offense. All right. Both teams in front of me. I'm going to be quiet in case this is one of our guys. I don't want to say what I want to do here. I don't want to tell him that I'm going after. Okay. So the guy after me here has no running backs, and he has a quarterback already. So I'm going to let T-Law ride. And part of me... I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney. I want to have really strong wide receivers in this particular draft. I'm going Kadarius Toney. A lot of reasons why. I think he has the potential in the weeklies to be a lot more valuable because I do see him having some blow-up games. And if he is inconsistent, or if he gets hurt, or if he has some kind of meltdown on the field, all things that are capable and reasons why we worry about him. I'm going to go T-Law here. And so my squad is T-Law, Bijan, Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Kadarius Toney. Feel pretty good about that. They're all very, very good weekly guys. Not that there are a lot of bad weekly guys, but Kadarius Toney, even if he had a blow-up, meltdown, whatever, I think he's probably most capable of the wide receivers left of having that, crazy game. Crazy game. Bryson dropping a $5 hauler right on screen. Do I have any other super chats that I missed? Let me see. Bryson dropped one to start off the show. Appreciate that, Bryson. I got another super chat here from David. David, I'm sorry about the delay on this answer here. Any advice for first-time Dynasty owner in a Dynasty startup? Yeah, I'd love if you would call in, David, and I could walk you through that. It would be a little easier, and we can have a quick discussion. and I'll give you first class service on this one, bro. Can you call in? If you can't, no problem, but I could definitely walk you through it a little bit better than trying to. Bryson with the $5 hauler says traded Chubb for Hall. I'll still answer this, David, if you don't call in, but I just want to know if you can. Traded Chubb for Hall and Dotson. Chubb for Hall and Dotson. I'm very hopeful on Hall, but my brother was upset about it. Told me to wait until midseason. Oh, you told him. Told him to wait until midseason, and he'll be. Yeah, I've told you before, Bryson. I think I said these exact words. Like, if this is a redraft, and I think it was redraft, it could be something where you maybe lose it out of the gate. So, yeah, it could take until midseason when Hall is full go. And I'm not saying Hall's not going to be full, like near full go. Or even if he's not full go, what if he gets, instead of 15 carries, he's getting 10. And he rips off a couple big runs. He has a touchdown and 3 receptions for 30 yards. He has 90 yards and a touchdown in week 1. He has 80 total yards and a touchdown in week 2. And he's like being eased in. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean he can't blow up. But there is a strong shot. Chubb has a monster beginning, but he has a lot of mileage, bro. A lot of mileage on those tires. And at the end of the day, I think Breece Hall and Dotson's going to be better. As long as you're winning, you're not like 0-4, or something, and because of it or something. And I don't think you would be. I think Dotson's gonna have a monster year. I don't mind that trade, but there is some risk to both sides. There's risk in saying no to that, because if Dotson blows up, you're gonna wish you did it, because Breece and Chubb could be very close. If not, Breece could be better than him. But there is a small chance that in the beginning of the year, you're like, damn it, that's just the nature of trading for a guy that's going to be given more and more work every week in Breece Hall. So you have to be patient with that. You can't lose your cool, and don't trade him away or something. Yusuf's calling in. Yusuf, you're live on the show, bro. What's up?
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
What's up, man?
So I just wanted to get your thoughts. I made a $300 bet with my friend in a half PPR format. I have Garrett Wilson finishing higher than T. Higgins. What do you think?
I mean, what do you think? I think, Yusuf. Let's start there.
I mean, I know you think Garrett Wilson. I just want to.
You just want me to take a victory lap with you. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
I put my arm around you, and I'm leaning in, and I'm saying, bro, we're gonna go spend that 300 on some Coronas. We're gonna go have a little weekend, because you're gonna win that. You're gonna win that bet. In my opinion. But is T. Higgins capable of being a top 7 wide receiver? And could Garrett Wilson somehow get banged up? And anything can happen. But Garrett Wilson's quietly my number 3 wide receiver at the end of the day. Doesn't mean I don't try and take advantage of the ADP. Doesn't mean I don't try and take advantage of all the grandmas out there that are scared to make such a bold commitment and statement. I had people telling me in my on Threads, I put Bijan's the 1.1. And I clarify in the caption, I said that if it's a 3 wide receiver PPR, I do like the 2 wide receivers and then Bijan, but Bijan is arguably in the right format, a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, and a flex without the 3 mandatory wide receivers, or half PPR, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex, especially. Bijan's the 1.1. And I wouldn't be afraid to do, this is redraft, I wouldn't be afraid to take him. He's definitely the running back 1 to me. I take him over McCaffrey every time. And, bro, people were just, like, clowning especially other analysts, they'll come in and go, bro, when's the last time that happened? Like that really matters? Like every player is not independent of the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, it drives me nuts when another analyst rolls into your comments and says, let me take Dotson real quick here. Rolls into the comments and says something stupid like that. Like, bro, when's the last time this happened? And it's like, let's see here. Hold on.
And it's like, I'm hearing a lot of the Algier talk, and I'm not really getting it either. It's like, people are just doubting Bijan for, like, using other people as examples, but they're gonna see.
All right, I'm doing my Kamara. I have so many shares of Kamara. Here's my squad. Trevor Lawrence, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Kadarius Toney, Jahan Dotson. That's pretty dope. That's a pretty killer squad there. What do you guys think? Rated on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, amazing. 1 being take a lap. What is this team to you right now? Knowing that we're still drafting, knowing I'm still going to go after a tight end. Do you love this squad? 10 being a smash. But what I was saying, bro, is Bijan's my running back 1. And the amount of analysts and people that just kind of like slide into the DMs and say, or into the comments especially, and say, Smitty, this is the kind of advice that has your... One guy said, this is the kind of advice that has your reputation in question. And I'm like, I know, and I hear it every year. Like Jalen Hurts, top 1 to 5 quarterback. My reputation was very much in question last year when I said Jalen Hurts would be a top 1 to 5 quarterback. Very much in question. Thank you for clarifying, Bob. Thank you for clarifying. You want cookie cutter? Go over there. Go over there. This ain't no cookie cutter platform. And I'm going to speak my mind. Like, if I feel something, the great part about having a show is I can say whatever I want, and predict whatever I want. And even if I'm wrong, it's my show. Like, if I want to say, you know what? Aaron Jones, I don't believe this, by the way. Let's use a positive one that I kind of believe in. St. Brown could be the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy football 2023. At the end of the day, he could have the second most touchdowns behind only Jamar Chase, total touchdowns, because he's going to run for a couple. And I could say that. I don't need any evidence. I don't need any track record. I could come out and say, this is a gut instinct video with no evidence to back it up whatsoever. St. Brown's finishing as wide receiver 2. You know what holds me accountable? Time. And year over year, if people like what I'm cranking out, if I'm just cranking out throwing mud at the wall, I'm not going to hit anything, and everybody's not going to watch. So I'm held accountable by my own performance. And so I can say whatever I want. And just because we all have different views, and maybe sometimes I go at somebody's take when they say, oh, Lamar over Fields. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, Fields is going to go crazy. And then the next minute, and I'm just being honest here, the next minute someone says, are you crazy? You like, Fields over Lamar. I'm like, how can you say that? How can you be so definitive when I was very definitive a minute ago? But it's my show. It's my show. My opinion's going to kind of sit here in the center, the front, the forefront of it all. And then, of course, I have the calls, and then we argue and we talk about things, and that's great. But, Bijan is running back 1 to me. And I don't care if anybody has a problem with it. I really don't care. I care what all you think. But the people that are beefing and upset and think that I'm going crazy, I'm just trying to get clicks. Like, you don't know my content then. If you think that I'm saying Bijan's running back 1 to get clicks, you're the same person that's going to jump on the Bijan's running back 1 train in August and pretend you weren't on it. Because look how many people are on the Bijan train now in the front cart. The front car of this train didn't have anybody in it. We were saying he's 1 to 7, and everyone laughed. He's a first round. You know how many people were uncomfortable with Bijan at 7, 8, 9, 10? So many people. Now everybody's got him. I've got a bold take. He's a top 4. What were we even talking about, Yusuf? We were talking about a different player, and I just hijacked it. Who are you talking about?
I mean, I do everything. So we're talking about the Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, okay.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, my number 3. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not me being bold. Garrett Wilson's my number 3. I think St. Brown, Garrett Wilson are going to fight it out to be the surprise number 3 wide receiver in fantasy football behind Jamar Chase and JJ. Those are the 2 tier break, Chase, JJ, tier break. No one's even close to those guys. But if anybody's going to flirt with them, have cups of coffee with them, you know what I'm saying? David, are you calling in? If not, David, let me give you my take. Bryson's dropping another. So real quick, Yusuf, hold on one second. Don't go anywhere. As
Alright.
far as dynasty advice for David. David, are you still here? Let me make sure David's here before I just run my rant and go in Rambo, because if he comes back, I'll have to repeat it. So, David, I'm going to wait for you to say that you're here. I'm hoping you call in, though. Yusuf, ask a question while we await David's response. And tell me.
Alright. I just wanted to, for Justin Herbert, do you consider him like a top 7 quarterback this year?
That's a great place to put him. And I know a lot of people get mad at me, my guy. A lot of people get mad at me when I put him in that territory. When I say that he's not top 5 or 6, they get upset. Yusuf, they get upset. People get upset at me. And I just can't rank him above Fields and T-Law. I'm not ranking him, of course, above the top 4. You got, in any order, Hurts, Mahomes, Burrow, and Josh Allen. Those are the big 4. Whatever order you have. For me, it's Fields number 5, and then it's T-Law 6. I can't put him. I cannot put Herbert in my top 6. And I did a video on this, and I can't tell you how many people were upset at me. I don't know where those people are now, because everyone that was really negative in that video, even in the damn it, Charbonnet went. I really was hoping he'd fall. He almost fell to my 107. Sucks. That would have been a nice addition. I almost went with him at 86, but I'm like, you know what, he might fall, and he almost did. 1 second, let me make these 2 picks real quick, or let me make this 1 pick. I'm not gonna mess around, and I'm just gonna go Kincaid here. Go ahead, Yusuf. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I don't see an argument for him top 5 though. I could see like an argument for him maybe, and that's maybe over Lawrence, but I think Lawrence still has the edge. Fields is a wipe though. I think Fields will 100% finish over Herbert. I just think 7 is like a place you kind of have to put him.
Yeah.
Unless you're high on Lamar, but that's it.
But here's the kicker: is like Fields and T-Law are above Herbert to me every single time. I that's how I feel. Let me see. I might go Okonkwo here. I might go double tight end. I'm not feeling these wide receivers right here. I don't want to force it. Running back. I'm going to dominate the tight end position, I believe, with this combination that I've got here. Because Kincaid might not be full go, for a while. He could be, but he might not be. And Okonkwo, I think, is going to have a top 5, top 6 tight end season, maybe. Top 7 at least. But now I've got 2 guys I think will put me in a top 5 tight end producing situation. So this team is very balanced so far. Trevor Lawrence, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara. Hang on 1 second, bro. Hold on 1 second. 603 caller, you're live. Yeah, who's this?
Hey, it's a caller on. I got a take for you on your fantasy football show.
Okay, who is this?
This is Matt.
Matt, okay. You got a take for my fantasy football show. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're live.
All right. Do you want to hear the take, or am I live right now?
You're live on the show, bro.
All right, here we go. All right. You give me that first pick, Michael Thomas over Olave. Or no, not first pick, but when it comes to those receivers. Who you taking and why?
What? I don't understand your question.
What do you mean you don't understand? So
hold on. Yusuf, do you understand him?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yusuf, do you understand what he's saying?
I didn't get the question.
Chat, do you understand what he's saying? Like you maybe you're acting like I should have known what you said. It didn't sound clear.
So all right, I'll clear it up for you and your chat. So we got
because we obviously need you to fantasy explain us. Go ahead.
Who you got for number 1 receiver on the Saints? You got Michael Thomas.
Okay, Olave. Yeah.
But why is that?
Why is that? Because he is probably one of the best wide receiver prospects coming out of the sophomore wide receiver class that has the potential to be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. Michael Thomas can't stay healthy. Michael Thomas is aging. Michael Thomas's injury risk is through the roof. Olave's young. There's predictability here. We're trying to predict what Olave is going to become.
How can you predict an injury, though? You know what I'm saying?
How can you predict?
Like,
you can
Michael
predict
Thomas
injury all day long.
He's
Don't
a
tell me
vet.
you can't predict injury guy, because that doesn't work, bro. That doesn't work. You can absolutely stave off injury.
Bijan's going down.
What?
You think Bijan's going down? Injury, ACL?
No. You can't predict all injuries, but you can stay away from injury prone players, bro. Do you think Michael Thomas isn't an injury prone player?
I
got a bridge to sell you if you don't.
I don't think Michael Thomas is an injury prone player.
Okay, so let me just give you a little taste of what the chat thinks, because I like going to the chat to see if maybe I'm off base, Matt. Maybe I'm off base. So if you believe Michael Thomas is an injury prone player, put a injury prone yes. If you don't think he is, put a not injury prone or no. Okay, let's just see how.
So what about Breece Hall?
Because you're acting
written all over him.
You're acting like I'm crazy. You're acting like it's a weird stance to like Olave over Mike Thomas. Number one, bro, the ADP has Olave in round 2 on Underdog Fantasy. Thousands and thousands of drafters, every series of drafts they do says Olave's a round 2 guy. And Mike Thomas is what? Where's Mike Thomas going? Let's see where Mike Thomas went. 9th round, 102. How are you in here debating that you're like, really? How do you like Olave or Mike Thomas? When Mike Thomas is going 102 and Olave's going in the 2nd round. Like, what do you mean? Like, if you came in here, Matt, and said, I got a bold prediction for you, Smitty. I got a bold prediction. The bold prediction is that Mike Thomas outscores Olave. You know what I'd say to you? That is bold, bro. Yeah. I disagree, but that is bold, and I 100% disagree. But you came in here as if I need to explain to you why I'm way ahead on Olave versus Mike Thomas. Olave was number 1 in the National Football League by a country mile in air yards before Winston went down. What does Carr do? Throws deep passes like he showed last year to Devontae Adams and laser locks on that particular wide receiver. Mike Thomas is not that wide receiver. That receiver's Olave. He's gonna be top 3 in air yards.
Quarterbacks in the league right now?
Does it matter if Derek Carr's a top 10 quarterback, or does it matter that Derek Carr fed Devontae Adams 14 touchdowns, 1,300 plus yards, and 100 plus receptions? What really matters with the conversation you and I are having right now? That's my question.
Well, no, Adams is better than Michael Thomas, but Michael Thomas over Olave any day of the week.
Well, then you're alone. You're by yourself.
Does any of your chat agree with me, or is
bro? The entire ADP agrees with me, and the chat agrees with me.
What about Travis?
What about Travis? Who's Travis? Travis Rowe?
Yeah, one of your mods. I like him. He's a nice guy.
I highly doubt Travis is on team Mike Thomas over Olave. If he is, that he's at least gonna not be shocked. All right,
next bold take, Breece Hall.
Well, hold on. You're just like gonna end this debate?
No, I'm still going as long as you want to. I just don't want you to kick me off because you think I'm trolling you. But
No, I'm not. I mean, I do wonder if you are trolling me for one, but because you're acting surprised on these very, very obvious, takes. But go ahead.
You can't really show you're like, oh, this guy's gonna be just like your Bijan takes. I don't think Bijan should go first round because you don't know how he's gonna. He hasn't had a year yet. All you can predict.
You and I might not be a match here for me, content creator, you viewer.
Tinder, I ain't trying to be a match with you.
I'm not trying to send you away because I do hope you stay. But my content's not catering to your style. If you believe Bijan's not a first rounder, bro. If you believe Bijan's not a first rounder, I honestly don't know how I can even break through to you on anything. If you truly believe
he hasn't even touched the NFL field yet.
So, are you not predictive? Or is this is Captain Obvious, Oscar type stuff we're talking about here, bro? You need to see it. You need to see it. It has to be on the field. You're not going to invest in Bijan until he actually is the number one overall. When you're paying that value, when you can get him at 4, 5, 6, 7 right now, and with a smile.
Hey, I'm telling you, if Bijan goes off, I will give you a $100 super chat, and I'll be like, you know what, Smitty, you were right. But until then, I am honestly going to be on the Bijan trade.
Matt from where? Let me put you in the phone line here. Matt from where? Boston. And what's your YouTube handle? What's your YouTube handle so we can look for it? And we'll be like, where's Matt? He owes us a $100 super chat.
It's New York Barbershop.
Wait, hold on. It's New York what?
New York Barbershop.
Okay, New York Barbershop.
And it's like a picture of me holding the fish.
Okay. You might want to stick to fishing, Matt. You might want to stick to fishing.
I promise you, I'll keep you to this word, to this day.
Okay. Look, Ron Navy's on the phone. He's got the memory of an elephant. You just imprinted this little projection in Ron Navy's brain, and he's going to be coming for you. Every show, he's going to be like, "Where's Matt? Where's Matt from New York, the barbershop?"
And guess what? I'll be on there every show.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
We'll talk about Bijan's performance every weekend.
Yeah, please do, Matt. Go ahead. Hold on. Let's don't hang up, Matt. We like this.
Hey,
Ron,
Matt.
Obviously,
go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. Okay, and you're all over Michael Thomas. Well, what has he done since 2020?
4-time Super Bowl champ, 5 times.
No. What has he done since 2020 is my question. I'm not talking about from 2019 and before where he obviously crushed it. I'm talking about from 2020, what has he done? Answer that question, please.
Honestly, you're right. He hasn't done stuff, but you got to trust in the vets. You don't know about these rookies. You can't just say, "Oh, he's gonna be good. He's good in college."
Why hasn't he done anything since 2020 Because he has
playing on a shit team. You give him a quarterback like Mac Jones.
No, he's been hurt. The answer is let me help him, Ron. Let me help him. He's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Who is your quarterback?
No, he's been hurt. No, it does. His quarterback doesn't matter. Matt, it doesn't matter who his quarterback was. He's been hurt the entire time. It's a trick question for you. It's a trick question, Matt.
Since 2020.
He's been injured. He's been injured, Matt. He hasn't. Even if he had Aaron Rodgers, he's been injured.
2021. He missed the whole 2021 season.
Well, that's just unlucky then, right?
No.
He had 40 receptions. 40 receptions.
Hey, I gotta go, boys. My ride's here, but Thomas for Olave. I'll call back in an hour. I promise. I'll be with you guys.
Yeah, sure you will. All right, Matt. Appreciate you. He's already bailing. He's not coming back for the $100 super chat.
It's stat facts, Matt. It's stat facts.
Hey, Ron. Would you be willing to? Yeah. I'm not saying I want to wager this. I'm just asking how confident you are that he ever returns to pay that $100. Would I'd almost bet $100 with someone he never comes back to super chat the $100. This is gonna be a big circle. Look, this guy. You know what this guy was, Ron? He was an obvious Oscar, and I appreciate him, and I do hope he stays because he could learn something. But he came in here with this aggression. Like in a polite way, like he wasn't a rude guy. He didn't come in as a full troll or anything like that. No. I enjoyed it, Matt. You're welcome. Matt's welcome anytime. He's very calm.
But I just auto-picked my last two picks because I was talking. I got Van Jefferson and I got freaking Adam Thielen.
I'm sorry, Ron. Let's see here. I'm going to time out here in a second. I'm going to go with Jordan Love here. I'm just going to time out. Yeah, I'm going to time out here too. But what I was going to say is he was very, very polite, but it's just his thinking was he's going to miss out on so much waiting for things to be obvious. I feel bad for him. You know, I feel bad for him that he's not going to be able to enjoy a player having a monster year his first time out of the gate because he's afraid to predict it. You can't be afraid to predict a player's rise. You just can't. It's not a smart way to play fantasy.
This is what it sounds like to me, Smitty, in all honesty, all right? I mean, he kind of reminds me of Scared Scott in a way where Scared Scott calls in and he just takes the opposite take.
Mm-hmm.
It's not genuine. It's like he does it just to do it. That's what he comes in here to do, and I think he did the same thing.
Bryson here. Yeah.
He knows nobody likes Michael Thomas, and he knows we're all big on Bijan. So what's he going to come in? And he's going to come in and try to trash Bijan and talk big about Michael Thomas. And really, it was like he's expecting a big rise out of everybody by doing that. I feel that he wasn't really being genuine.
Yeah.
In his.
Real quickly before we continue with that, I just want to help Bryson out. Bryson, are you still here? And David, are you still here? I want to answer David's question, but I was really hoping he'd call in, but he probably said he couldn't call in or something. Chris dropping a $5 holler. Before I get these super chats out of control and unable to catch up with my squad, I thought though I sent you, is it in redraft? Is it worth making this trade? So this is the one where you have Walker, Charbonnet, Stevenson, J.K., Breece Hall. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good team, bro. The only thing I would say is that you had Kadarius, Toney, Garrett Wilson, Olave, London. If you can only start 4 of those wide receivers and you have to put Kadarius, Toney, or Dotson on the bench, then it makes it a little less of a trade that you need to make, because I like Breece Hall, and I honestly quietly want Breece Hall over Chubb, but at the cost of entry. So in terms of a trade, I don't know. I guess I go back and forth. Ultimately, I do believe Hall will outscore Chubb per start once Hall's on his horse, but that could be week 8, week 9, week 5, week 4. We don't know, but it doesn't mean he's going to be bad in weeks 1 through 4 or weeks 1 through 5. So it's a tough call. I like the trade. It gives you a lot of depth. You can still make other moves. I don't think you made a bad move at all. Ultimately, if I was on the clock and Chubb was there at 3.1, he fell, and Breece Hall's there, I'm going to waver a little bit, honestly. So I don't want you to think that's something I wouldn't even draft. I probably would take Chubb, but maybe I go wide receiver and take Breece, a little later or something. I don't know. With my squad, though, okay, I got that question out of the way. Chris dropping this super chat here. Chris says, can you ask Matt when he is drafting? I really would like to be in his draft. Yeah, Chris, that was crazy. Thank you for that super chat. And this one, what rank you think Hall will end up end of season? I think he's in the top 10. I think at some point he gets back into the top 5 in terms of points per start for RBs once he's full go. And that could be week 5. It could be week 2. It could be week 1. It could be week 10. We don't really know. It's an ACL. But I do feel like he is draftable at 3.1 to 3. Anywhere after 3.1. I don't love Hall in round 2 right now as much as I love a couple other players, and that's no knock on Breece Hall. It's just they're safer players, but I love him as my 3rd drafted player. Chubb just happens to go in round 2, and I don't even love it. It just feels like good value. I worry about Chubb's mileage. So it's a good question. I'd say top 10. Eventually he's top 5 per start. Hopefully more than half a season he's top 5 per start. I really, really love Hall. By mid-season on being a top 5 running back. So I don't mind the trade. And David, where's David? Did David end up saying he's here? Let me check. Hold on. David. Where's David? I wish David would call in. David, my advice right now, and if you call in, I'll give you more advice. First time Dynasty owner in a Dynasty startup. Focus on QBs and wide receivers to the best of your ability. If Bijan's there or Gibbs is there, that's an exception. Breece Hall is an exception in Dynasty. I love him in Dynasty. But Bijan and Gibbs and Breece Hall, those are guys I absolutely love. Past that, I'm focusing a lot on wide receiver and quarterback. An earlier quarterback is smarter. I'd rather have a Burrow or a Fields or someone like that in round 3 or 4. Especially if you have to go round 2, one of those guys, I'm fine with it. I think people underestimate how important it is to have a quarterback that's scoring the amount of points that those guys score. Real quickly, if I'm going to time out here. I'll go Hyatt, I guess. So, if you leave with Bijan and Hurts, you're set for so many years, bro. Or if you leave with even Gibbs in round 2. If you went, let's say you went Burrow or Fields in 3, and then you went Gibbs in 2 and Jamar Chase in 1. That would be an ideal start for me. Fields, Gibbs, and Chase. Or Bijan, St. Brown or Olave, or Garrett Wilson, obviously. And Garrett Wilson might go high in round or mid round 1 to late round 1, but you never know. It depends who you're drafting with. But if you left with Bijan, Olave, and Fields or Burrow, I love that as well. That would be a phenomenal start. Let's see what my team looks like real quick, guys. Hold on 1 second on the phone line. I'll go Laporta here. I need another tight end. So start off with something like that. That would make me feel really good about my dynasty team. Having one of those top 5 quarterbacks makes you so secure in a dynasty format. AJ Lancaster with a $10 hauler. All $10 haulers go to the moon. To the moon. This one's for Bryson for his $10 hauler. To the moon. Appreciate you, my guy. And Lancaster says, Sauce Gardner played against the slot in a total of 9 plays last season. Any chance Gesicki in New England is a hack against the Jets defense on weekly winners? Not saying that this couldn't be something where you're like, hey, that was a good play, nice move, but like, am I planning for Gesicki or any New England Patriot pass catcher to be a hack against the Jets defense? Answer is absolutely no. Jets are number 1 or number 2 in the entire National Football League on the defensive side of the football, and I think they're going to be the toughest defense. I think they're going to be number 1. I think they're going to be number 1. I think having better field position, having the defense more fresh because Aaron Rodgers is draining the clock and stretching the field, and when they do punt or turn over the ball or whatever, it's going to literally be where this defense has got so much of a better chance of making plays and shutting down an offense, and having less time and being on the field less is going to make them fresh. I think the Jets defense takes that big step forward, and Aaron Rodgers practicing against this defense in practice every day is going to make Aaron Rodgers so on point. I'm so excited for Aaron Rodgers. And back to that Herbert number 7 quarterback comment. Wouldn't shock me if Aaron Rodgers was ahead of him. Aaron Rodgers has got, I think, the best situation he's had in years. And it's going to be interesting to see if he does still have it left in the tank, and I think he does. He's going to be a monster. And one more $20 hauler, and then I'm going to go back to the phone line. $20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Appreciate you, Bryson, dropping heat tonight. Do you think Dalvin would go to the Jets, and would that affect Breece's fantasy value? This is a concern right now, Bryson, and it is something you're going to have to like hope this doesn't happen. It's certainly not good for Breece Hall if Dalvin Cook lands in a Jets uniform. It's not good. It's not like horrible, but it certainly isn't good. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's a lot of chatter right now. It's Mike Florio on a podcast. I don't think he said this even on the main show, on NBC's show. He said this on his own personal podcast. I think it was more of an opinion-based prediction based on that he's hearing from people that are hearing from people that they're a little more interested than people are making it out to be, but they could offer him a very low amount of money saying, hey, we just want to bring you in as a backup. And it could be where Cook's like, hell no. Like, you guys don't respect what I bring to the table. And they're like, okay, we just wanted to, kick the tires, see if you wanted to be here as a change of pace for Breece. But I think they're stepping on Breece's toes in a way that I don't think they really want to if they bring him in at a high dollar amount. So I think the money amount's going to make Cook go somewhere else. I think Miami's going to be willing to pay him. Miami Mike is in a position where he's always aggressive. He's more aggressive than everybody. He went and got Tyreek Hill. His offense is aggressive. Everything about Miami Mike McDaniel is aggressive, and I think he will be so aggressive with Cook, he'll get the Cook deal done based on the money. And it's a good fit. It's the best fit for Cook. He wants to be there. I think it's going to be it's going to be a match. So I'm hopeful that New York doesn't come in and for some reason there's something about Breece we don't know, that he had a setback, and they go hard after Breece, and then we're all disappointed. But appreciate you. Love the show. You're my favorite show. Look forward to the season. Bryson, let's give Bryson a standing ovation for all the super chats he's dropping tonight.
Mashed potatoes!
Okay, let's go back over to Ron Navy real quick before we hit to Walt, and we got a slew of people on the line here. So go ahead, Ron. Finish whatever you were saying. Hello, Ron? All right, Walt, you're up.
I was on mute.
Okay, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, we just We just finished up our draft over here. We're done. I mean, I was all right except for those two auto picks I had.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I ended up with. I had, of course, my boy Kurt, Kenny Pickett, Najee, Brian Robinson, Penn, Warren, Jeff Wilson. Speaking of which, Wilson won't be crap if Cook goes down to Miami. And then I got Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Christian Kirk, Jordan Edwards, Brandon Cooks, and then my two Jefferson Thielen. But then I picked up Tyler Scott and Calvin Austin as my 17 and 18 round picks. But I got Hawkinson and Dalton Schultz as my tight ends.
Yeah. Okafor, if you want to call in and debate this again, I'm more than happy to explain to you again why I feel this way. Because Smitty used to love Herbert. I don't hate Herbert, but Herbert has a lot to prove. Just like a family member that wrongs you, you might still love him, Okafor, but they gotta prove it to you. They gotta earn your trust back. And quite honestly, it's not so much about can Herbert be great again, because we want to make Herbert great again. Make Herbert great again. Do it live. But it's more about like the top four are untouchable, okay? Burrow, Mahomes, Hurts, and Josh Allen. That is in its own little cart up front, okay? Its own bucket, its own tier. Untouchable. Fields is going to break in and try and hack into that cart and really be the leader. He's going to try, and he could. He's the one guy that might have the keys to that front tier. He's number 5. Law Dog's going to try the same thing, and it wouldn't shock me if T-Law is a top 4 quarterback. But Fields and T-Law are in their own tier, in my opinion. They're in their own tier. I don't have Lamar in the tier. I don't have Herbert in the tier. I don't have Aaron Rodgers in the tier. I have them in like a sub-tier, like right below them, with the opportunity to climb to the top of that tier that T-Law and Fields are commanding. But that is my order. It's Fields and Fields and T-Law in tier 2. So there's your top 5, 6, 5 and 6. So Herbert can only be my number 7. And people had such a problem with my video, my QB ranking video, where I had Fields and T-Law as QB 5 and 6. And I don't understand why people have such a problem with it. I understand if someone has a different, ranking. But it was crazy pushback. Like, how could you not have Herbert in your top 6 quarterbacks, Smitty? It's crazy. How do I take someone out? How do I take a guy like Fields or T-Law out when I feel the way I feel about them? So this isn't about Herbert. Herbert's got a very questionable situation that some of you feel he's going to have, a bounce back experience in, which is fine. And I get it. But this doesn't have to be a negative toward Herbert. It's just those other 2 quarterbacks in front of him are untouchable in that tier above him. To me, they are. That's how I feel. Herbert's got wide receivers that are always injured and banged up. I believe, if anybody knows the actual stat on this, but I believe Keenan Allen and Mike Williams played together last year like 4 times or something crazy like that. It was a astronomically crazy number, low number. It was insane. They played together like 4 or 5 times. I don't understand how it's confusing to say out loud, I want Herbert to prove it. I want Kellen Moore to prove it. I want Austin Eckler to play healthy. The problem is Eckler, if he has one more year left at the age of 28, it is one more year left. So what happens next year anyway? So if we're talking Dynasty, Herbert's not in the same conversation as T-Law and Fields, in my opinion, because I don't think that the Chargers are building like the Bears and the Jaguars are. I just don't. I think they're trying, and I think they could get there. Maybe they draft another wide receiver, but Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are not reliable for the long term. They're not reliable for the short term. Quentin Johnston was tagged by me and many as being a very raw and I don't know, like running in mud type of player that has a lot of work to do before he can become dominant, but he's got upside. I do give him that. He's got upside. I like Quentin Johnston. I just don't love him right now. And what happens when Kellen Moore tries to be more aggressive through the air vertically and doesn't throw the amount of crazy times that that Eckler was thrown to last year in this offense. I mean, how is Eckler going to produce the same numbers? I'm out on Eckler for the most part. I just don't understand how it's confusing to anybody. Like, I understand if you have a different opinion, but how is it that crazy? How are people dropping comments like Okafor in capital letters, like, Smitty, you liked Herbert? Like, what? How am I being confusing here? I don't understand it. Can we go over to Walt real quick? He's been waiting real patiently. Walt, what's up? You're live.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? How
What's
you
up?
doing?
Oh, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, man. I was doing a mock draft, listening to your show, and I can't recall the guy's name. When you were saying Michael Thomas over Olave, I actually got distracted from my draft, and it auto-drafted two players I didn't want, so it threw me way off of this take.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed hearing them talk. But I actually kind of wanted to speak about what now?
He was talking nonsense and he was screwing all you up. Ron timed out, you timed out. This guy Matt, in his crazy take, was you know what was crazy about it is that he believed it. He believed all of you believed it too. I swear to you, Matt called up. In his mind, the entire chat was with him. He called up.
Something? He got my attention. I will admit that. I couldn't help but listen.
He was nice, but he's probably calling from some asylum, and they're like, you got 2 minutes left. That's why he hung up so quick. And he's in a padded room, and he's like, Smitty.
Maybe one of those old school pay phones. Who knows?
Smitty, I'm telling you, I'm from the future. Future Matt. This is 2024. Bijan, he isn't a top 10 running back, Smitty. All right, go ahead, Walt. What else you got?
No, you're fine. I did want to just throw in this little bit about Justin Herbert. I agree with you. Based on his performance from last year, I don't disagree with him being top 7. I think the 4 guys you mentioned, those would be the top 4 I have. I mean, at least in my ranking, personally, I have them in my top 4. I just think that, not saying you, but I think a lot of people do forget that Justin Herbert has shown greatness before. If I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago, matter of fact, I know for a fact he was the number 2 quarterback overall in fantasy, and he helped me win a championship that year. But due to injuries last year, and yes, he underperformed based on the ADP, people hadn't projected that. And I know it left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. But I think the addition of Kellen Moore is going to help him out tremendously. And
sure.
I would maybe want to get your opinion on this take. So the way that, and I do feel this way about Bijan, even though we haven't seen it with Bijan, I do believe Bijan will be elite. I think he's going to be a great running back. I think he definitely has top 3 overall finish in his DNA as a rookie. I think with Justin Herbert getting Kellen Moore, we saw what Kellen Moore did with Dak Prescott. I mean, and I think him having Justin Herbert as his new quarterback, I mean, if he could do that with Dak Prescott, what's to make me think that he couldn't do something with Justin Herbert?
Yeah, I don't mind that take, Walt. But the problem that I have is when, like I said, people are shocked in a way that it's like it's crazy. That's the part where I understand it. Like Brian in here, Brian MC loves. He's got a Charger as avatar. Like, I mean, he's very telling. He's going to be pro Charger and he's going to be slanted and biased against the Chargers, which I respect. But if he came in and said Herbert's going to be the quarterback 3, I'm not thinking that's crazy. I just think I disagree, but I can understand why why he could come to that conclusion because we all loved him to that degree last year, but he failed.
And this is what makes fantasy fun. I mean, we don't know, and it could happen. It may not happen.
And to my point though, he failed. And given how good Fields and T-Law look, it's understandable to say he's in waiting. He's in waiting to be a top 5 or 6 quarterback. He definitely has the potential to be. But you can't I have more of an argument on my side of the fence to say, look how Fields finished last year. And you could say, oh, he doesn't throw. You got DJ Moore. Oh, well, now he's going to throw too much and run less. Now you're just running circles. Now you're just trying to pick sides to appease your own argument. In terms of T. Law, your one argument could be, and I could very much understand this. Hey, T. Law, and I get this. If T. Law didn't have that magical comeback in his
playoff in the playoff game.
Yeah. If he didn't have that magical comeback, and he was a disaster in that one game, the second to last game, and he was a disaster in that game, and he didn't march back, we wouldn't even be mentioning his name in the top 6. We wouldn't, and that's a reality. It's a harsh reality, but he did do it, and he's got Calvin Ridley. And we felt the way he played, a lot of us felt like he could be that good, and he was that good. That was a turning point in his career. You could also say if Michael Jordan didn't hit that jumper when he was at North Carolina to win the national championship, that Jordan wouldn't have become Jordan in the NBA. We could play that game all day long. You could say, what if he didn't do this? What if he didn't do that? But he did do it. He did do it. But if someone wants to say that I didn't see enough last year from Trevor Lawrence to move him ahead of Herbert, even with Herbert disappointing, I'm okay with that. But I don't think it's crazy. It's weird how much this is crazy, Smitty. You have Trevor Lawrence out of your top 6. I just think it's weird that we can't look at Fields and T. Law and say, yeah, they do feel a little bit safer right now. And I'm rooting for Herbert. I am. I love Herbert. I do love Herbert. But with the changing offense, the moving parts involved, the aging running back that was a critical part of that offense, up until this point, and Kellen Moore potentially could be using Eckler different, and he's getting older, and you got a wide receiver room that's right now unreliable. It's unreliable. All 3 of them, we have no clue what's going to come from it. I just don't see... until they prove it, it's what have you done for me lately, and that's just my stance. Back real quickly to the Bijan take, and Matthew or Matt, whatever his name, I think it was Matt from Boston. I mean, I just couldn't believe how conservative Caleb he sounded, in that if it hadn't been proven yet, like this guy's not taking anybody that hasn't done it already. Like this guy's I'm telling you, he's taking Jacobs all day long in like round 2. He's taken Mike Thomas. He's taken Keenan Allen in round 3 or 4. This guy is going to be all about what has a player done before. I'm not going near a player. He didn't go near Hurts. I can tell you right now, Matt was in a bunch of different shows, probably got kicked out of those and came over to ours from last year, probably saying that Jalen Hurts can't be a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts, that is such an anti-Matt player. Jalen Hurts hadn't done it yet. What are we doing here? What are we doing here if we're going to take cookie cutter, stats from last year and just move them on over? Oh, Bijan doesn't have any stats from last year because he's a rookie. Guess what? He gets a fat 0. Like you open your eyeballs. I guarantee you that Matt became an Adrian Peterson fan. But if Matt was unable to see Adrian Peterson coming, then Matt is late to the party, Matt. And maybe that's what we nickname him, late to the party Matt. He's going to be late to the party every single time. You cannot be afraid to draft Bijan. You cannot be afraid to take Jalen Hurts. You cannot be afraid to see Fields coming. You can't be afraid. If you're going to be like Scared Scott, you're going to be late to the party 9 times out of 10. And maybe that's the way you want it. Maybe you want to be safe and conservative. Caleb does it. Conservative Caleb, those types, they just never want to take a risk, and that's fine. Let us do it. Hold our beer. Go get me a coffee, Matt. Matt, go get me a coffee.
I don't know if you have to go to another caller, but I would say this. Yeah, I think overall in fantasy, you do need to be willing to take risk, calculated risk, I should say.
Yeah, let's go to.
Sorry.
No, finish your thought, and then I got to go over to JFAR and Cali Loco.
Okay,
so
yeah, I would say you definitely have to be willing to take calculated risk after you've done your homework on a player. Bijan, for me personally, I don't know what spot I'll be drafting on draft day, but me personally, in the first round, I love getting proven players myself. But Bijan is the type of player that I would be willing to take that risk on if he fell to me. As for Herbert, I don't know what his numbers were last year, but I just want to throw this last part out. A down year for Herbert. I know he threw over 4,500 yards, and that's what we're looking at as a down year for Herbert with all those injuries and the injury he sustained. So as we were talking about predicting and not being afraid, if it's only up from there for Justin Herbert. If he falls to me in like the 6th round and he's there, I'm hitting that slam button.
And I don't,
if I missed out
and
on
I don't
him.
blame you.
Go ahead.
And I don't blame anybody for liking Herbert, at a territory where they feel that risk is baked in, and everybody's got to make that decision for themselves. But what I will tell you, and this is the final thing I'll say, and then I got to move over to the other two guys.
Yeah.
At that stage, though, the two guys that I rank ahead of Herbert are still there. Or at least one of them is, or sometimes they are. T-Law is usually there around 6, sometimes around 7. Fields goes in 4 or 5. He's usually not there in 6. But so I understand where you're coming from, but Herbert would have to be there around 7 for me to really go after him. And I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm trying to tell you that I would in that scenario. But that's it. I mean, I like him too. If Herbert does well, someone like Okafor, who doesn't really hear me, he listens to me, doesn't hear me, he's going to come in and go, see, Smitty, you're wrong about Herbert. I'm not wrong about Herbert. I like Herbert. I think Herbert could bounce back, and he could have a really good year, and I need to see it. But there's too many moving parts to ignore that T-Law and Fields are just better fantasy picks with more upside. Maybe there's risk, too. Certainly there's risk with everybody. Chris says, bold prediction for you, Smitty. The new jacked Super Tua is QB1, and Cheetah and Waddle combined for 3,000 yards. Let me tell you something, bro. Chris, I appreciate you, and it's a fun bold prediction, and I do like bold. I don't care if I disagree or not. I love this. So hats off to you. People that think I don't like people that disagree with me, they just don't understand me. What I don't like is when people come in and act like there's no debate. And sometimes, like I said, I'm at fault of that on my own, but it's my own show, and I get to take a hardline stance on things. That's why you guys watch me. You're not here to just have everything be completely fair and square, and like you're here to hear my take. You do love the callers' takes. It adds a nice dynamic to the show, but there is a message that comes out from the show that ends up being behind my voice. And so sometimes I'll take a really hard stance on something, and then I'll say something the next week like, how come you're taking such a hardline stance? It's the nature of content creation. It's the nature of it. But I will say this. So I love the bold take, and I love when people drop bold takes like this, even though I disagree. Tua adding weight is not good. Tua adding weight will almost certainly get him hurt more easily in terms of what he's fighting up against. Having more mass and hitting the floor harder is going to be bad for the concussion potential situation. I know a lot of people think that if you bulk up, you can take a hit better. It's not going to protect the whiplash in your head. It's not going to protect you when you hit the ground with more force and there's more of an impact now when you hit the ground. It's not going to help him navigate the pocket and slip out from crazy situations. He's going to get tackled more easily. Tua, it's crazy when you look at Tua. Tua Tagovailoa had a 12.7% contact rate, which was second, I believe, lowest in the entire league, and he still got hurt the way he got hurt. Like the best QB, he was the number one QB, 85.1% when he was throwing inside the 20. He was the number one. He also has speedy wide receivers that would run a quick slant, and he could just get it to these guys and then let them do their thing, kind of Deebo Samuel-esque. Was Jimmy G really good, or did Jimmy G just throw it to Deebo, and Deebo made some amazing plays that made Jimmy look good? So part of that is the offense and Miami Mike. But he was also 25th in the entire National Football League outs from 20 yards and beyond. So he was number one in the league, 20 yards and in. He was number 25 when the pass was beyond the 20-yard mark. So a lot of people say, including me, the defenses figured Tua out by midseason, and he was playing scared and didn't trust himself, didn't trust that he'd get a concussion. So I fear that not only has Tua been slightly figured out and he's not as good out, on deeper passes. He's good at those quick plays, and maybe Miami Mike designs a lot for that, and they still do well on the short stuff. But I think the added weight's gonna turn that 12 point whatever percent into a much higher stat. His contact rate's gonna go up because he's heavier. He's not gonna be quicker. He's not gonna be able to slip out of things, and I just don't think it's a good thing for him to have the added weight. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Knock on wood. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Tua stays healthy all year. But if there was an over/under or a high or low, I would say 8 games. I'd say 8 games is what Tua. If I had to put a line on it, and I'd put under. I'll probably put 9. 9 games under that he plays in 2023. I have a bad feeling he's going to take a hit, and we're going to see a concussion where it's not helmet to helmet. It's, again, the ground causing contact or whiplash causing the concussion. And if he has another concussion that is not helmet to helmet related, it is it's a clear indication that his head is in a more vulnerable position than anybody else's in the National Football League. Because usually you're gonna, when you start getting concussions when you get tackled and you're not getting like hit, helmet to helmet, you're in some trouble. That's why Kurt Warner retired early. That's why Steve Young retired early. That's why a lot of guys that have concussions and they start getting them very easily, they say to themselves, their doctors say to them, do you want to be aware of where you are when you're 55 years old? Because there's a really good chance you don't know who you are at 58, 59 years old because your head is traumatized. Every concussion is brain damage. So it's just Tua's a tough conversation because I know a lot of people are counting on him, hopeful, but I don't know, bro. The added weight doesn't make any sense for me. It doesn't make any sense. But I appreciate your super chat. I'm sorry if that was a downer on your your bold prediction, but that's just how I feel. Let me go over to JFar real quick, and then I'll circle back around the phone line. JFar, you're live.
How are you, Smitty?
I'm good.
Just have, everyone's going at you for Justin Herbert at QB7, but on Underdog, I'm seeing Lamar Jackson go above Joe Burrow, Fields, Herbert, and Lawrence. That, to me, is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I understand him above Herbert. I do, because I would probably take Lamar over Herbert, to be honest with you. But he's an injury risk. The PCL concerns me still. I don't think he's out of the woods with that yet, even though everyone's acting like he is. I just don't think he can be. I know a little bit about knee injuries, and I know that you have a grade 2-3 tear that's not going to just tighten back up the way that everybody thinks it's going to. When you almost have a grade 3 tear, that means your PCL got torn to the point where it almost tore completely, but you stretched the hell out of it. And so I can almost guarantee you that his PCL is longer than it used to be. It got stretched and torn. It probably healed, and it's probably sturdy. That's what they say when it's 100%. I mean, it probably did heal, but that knee's more laxed. It's basically the PCL is pulling that knee joint tight. The ACL is pulling that knee joint tight. You can see it on the back of this model. Those two are in the middle of the knee, and that ACL is doing most of the work pulling that knee joint tight because the PCL is barely doing anything because it's stretched out now. So he has a higher likelihood of a knee hyperextension or some sort of cartilage damage, because his knee is not going to be the exact same. Maybe he staves off injury and he never gets hurt again. It's possible, but I do believe, and it's my assessment, just my uneducated guess, but through a lot of years of studying knee injuries and having them myself, I think that he's a higher risk of knee injury than people understand and are willing to admit, or that he would ever admit, or the team would ever admit. But as for Lamar in the 3rd round over Burrow and Fields, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's confusing to me, but I love it. I don't know why people are on that right now, but look, Herbert in round 4, these are that's why these are my top 4 predictions, or my best 4 draft selections in all of 2023. Burrow round 4, Fields in round 5. Out of every piece of content I have, these are the 4 most important videos for the entire season. They're on my YouTube page on its own row, if anybody wants to watch all 4 of them in this series right here. I have a feeling this is going to be the most popular series walking into 2024. People are going to go, where are the 4 best picks of 2024, Smitty? I need those videos now. And it took me until about June to get to them because I want to make sure I feel really strongly about the players, and things change, over the months. But that's why Fields in round 5 and Burrow round 4 are 2 of my favorite picks in all of fantasy football 2023.
One more thing, 2 more things I want to run by you if it's okay. Just quickly, who's your QB1 overall this year?
Hold on 1 second. My QB1? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
New York Barbershop says, Bud said he wants to keep me on and won't answer my call. Call in, bro. I'm not seeing you dial in because I've got the phone line packed here. I don't know if you know how that works, but dial in. There is a spot open, and I will look for your name. And if you think I'm scared to answer your call, New York Barbershop, you really don't know me. You really don't know me if you think this entire show is dodging your fantasy splaining. Here's the fish. Let's see. I mean, I've seen bigger fish there, New York Barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's an okay-sized fish, bro. Looks conservative to me. I think you passed on the bigger fish because he wasn't proven. This fish has been in the lake a little longer, so you took the smaller one. But New York Barbershop, we're waiting for your call. I'm looking at the phone line. I don't see you dialing in. So dial in and we'll definitely answer it. I'm sorry, Jay Farr, finish your thought. What did you say? Oh, number 1 QB?
Yeah.
Depends on the format, bro. I'm drafting live in Vegas. I'll do my 4 shows, the 2 shows on Friday, my 2 shows on Saturday, because I'm doing the Saturday 5-6 hour live stream during the day, and then I'm doing the night stream. I don't take a day off. Like, I'm in Vegas, I'm traveling, I'm still gonna do my night shows. We might not draft, but I'm drafting all day Saturday, so I might take Fields number 4 overall in this draft. Because hold on, I don't know if this is him calling in. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who's this? Who is this?
It's Nick.
Nick. Okay, Nick, hang tight real quick. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'm going to help you next. All right, so hang tight. Just stay right there. We thought maybe you were the New York barber. He wasn't calling in like he said he was going to call in. He says he's calling in. I'm looking at the phone line right now, and I don't see him calling in. All right, Nick, hold on 1 second, okay, pal? I'm taking Fields at number 4 overall in the Superflex Scott Fishbowl draft. Why, you ask? Because I think there's like a quarter point per rushing, is it a quarter point per rushing attempt? I think it's a quarter point per rushing attempt, and I think something like a quarter point per first down that you gain. So to me, Fields is gonna rock the scoring system. And so I'm taking him number 4, and there's people talking about, is he a top 10 pick in this? It's a super flex. It's a super flex draft. And not only that, it's got rushing advantages, and people are still questioning
we
Fields.
got Matt on the line.
You what?
It's Matt here, Smitty.
Oh, okay, Matt. Matt, go ahead. Just barge on in. You think I'm ignoring your call? I'm not ignoring your call. In capital letters, you're obviously digitally screaming at me saying, Bud said he wants to keep me on, but he won't answer the call. This is a busy show, Matt. Okay? It's not easy to dial into the show, but go ahead.
That was a dumb comment.
Yeah, that's all right. Not your first of the night, but Matt, hey Matt, before we get into it, I just want you to know up front that I respect.
Not my first of the night. So you don't think the Michael Thomas over Olave?
Are you really asking me this again after we just, like, the whole chat just told you how wrong you are, and the whole chat thinks you're crazy?
Well, do you think that was my bad comment?
Yeah, I think it's a really bad take.
All right.
Yeah, but Matt, hold on. Let's start this off on the right foot. Let's start this off on the right foot. Number 1, I respect you for calling in the first time. I respect you even more for calling back, and I respect you for standing your ground. But I do feel like the reason I came off the way I did, and probably will continue to, is you came in as if I'm the one that has the explaining to do. That's like walking into a room going, the world's flat. Okay, the world's flat. And then you look around the room, you're like, you don't think so? You know, like, don't you realize it's almost like you're unaware, Matt? Don't you realize you're the one that has to explain to us what you're talking about because no one agrees with you? Like, you're walking into a room full of people saying the world's flat. Wait a minute. You don't agree? Like, it's like you're the one saying the crazy stuff. Mike Thomas be the better wide receiver.
Isn't that what a
ADP.
bold take is, though? Like, most people won't agree with you.
Matt, it wasn't that it was a bold take. You came in as if it was expected, and you were shocked. And you were shocked that I told you that the chat was going to disagree with you. You're like, what? You think the chat? Like, you were really very, very unaware that the chat was going to disagree with you. It was almost like you don't know what the ADPs are, because Mike Thomas is going around 9, and Olave's going around 2.
I feel like you can't really, like, I know, like, ADP, like, yeah, it's the best reasonable pick for that spot. But, like, you got to take risks. Like, even your whole chat was saying, like, you got to take risks. You got to take Bijan, you know. Yeah, he hasn't touched the NFL yet, but you got to take a risk. So that's, like, a risk I would take.
That's not a calculated risk, though. Come on. What are we talking about?
I want to draft.
Seriously?
I want to draft against you, Matt.
Michael
Thomas?
I
really want to draft.
Oh, Lord.
Matt, the problem with what you're saying is you're okay with a risk all of a sudden, which we all know you're not.
Delusional, Smitty.
I know, but
Delusional.
Matt, we all know you don't like risk. You can't come in here and pretend all of a sudden you're a risk taker. You're not a risk taker at all, and that's okay. Like, you know, you use the Kleenex on the door handle. I sometimes do that too, Matt. It doesn't make you a bad person. I'm just saying you will not take a risk.
I'm a risk taker if I'm going to take Thomas over Olave.
Because you delusionally think that he's better than him, and you're shocked. You were shocked that we didn't agree with you. Don't act like this is a bold take now. You thought this was obvious when you walked in the chat. You walked in as if it was completely obvious. That's all my whole point is. Number 2, Matt, you do have to take a risk, bro. And I guarantee you, don't lie to me, Matt. Tell me the truth. You didn't believe in Jalen Hurts last year. I know you didn't. He was inaccurate. You didn't like him. Just admit it.
I mean, yes, you're right.
I have a psych degree. I know what I'm talking about here. I can read you like a book. What I'm saying, bro, is you're going to be late to the party 9 times out of 10. And that's okay if that's the way you want to roll into a party. But if you don't get on the Bijan train early because you're afraid that it's going to, you know, the train.
Hey, let's figure out who wants to show up to a party early.
Wow.
I mean, that's your first good point of the night.
Hey. All right, I'm on a good step.
Hey, touche. That's the first good point of the night. Let's go over to Ron Navy. You got any other words for this guy? Let me just also say, Matt, you're a nice guy. Like, you've been taking it pretty hard, like a punching bag, and you're still very nice and pleasant. So I want you to know you're always welcome here. Your takes are a little out there, but like you're a pleasant person to speak to. I'll say that. Go ahead, Ron. Before Ron rips your head off.
That's why I'm here. Same to you, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, 3 years ago, I would be saying, yeah, Michael Thomas is worth it, but he hasn't done anything. He the whole year, and in the last 2 years, he's gotten injured, and he hasn't played a full season the last 2 years. He hasn't done anything, and so he kind of. I mean, I'm sorry, Smitty, but he reminds me of Swift. Always injured, never performs, always lets down. That's exactly who Thomas is. He's a player like I believe Swift to be. I think Swift has a lot of talent. I believe Michael Thomas had a lot of talent when he was healthy. Hold on. When he was healthy. And Swift has a lot of talent if he can stay healthy. That's the problem with these guys. They can't stay healthy, so they end up letting you down in the end because they can't stay on the field.
Hey, I will say this, Ron. I'll say that I think if Swift were to get hurt again this year, he would then be in the same bucket. I think right now Swift doesn't have – he's got like half or a little less than half of the injury history that Mike Thomas has.
Well,
so
I get your point. I understand why you like him and other people like him is because he's highly talented and he has the ability. But the big thing is can he stay on the field? And then that's what we're talking about Michael Thomas too, because he's proven that he has the ability. But in the last 3 years, he was injured one whole year. And in the last 2 years, he hasn't proven that he could come back from injury and stay healthy.
Hey, Matt.
So
Matt, do you work in like, I want to say you work in some sort of finance or like quality control of some kind, some sort of quality auditing?
he's a barber in New York.
Is that your full-time barber?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Did you have a former life as a quality control person or some kind of auditor? Have you always done barbering?
I mean, at one point I was pursuing it, like after high school, and then I was actually like told I was like I'm a good people person and shit, so like they thought I should be like a barber, and I was like, all right, and I pursued that, and
okay, so you've been doing it
ended
your whole
up
career.
working out pretty
You'd
well.
be a good quality analyst. What's in front of me? What's in front of me? If I haven't seen it, it isn't real. This guy never believed in Santa Claus. I can tell you that right now. But Matt, I appreciate your take. I do urge you to watch some of my Bijan content. I do urge you to take some gut instinct into account.
Oh, I've watched all of your Bijan videos. I can see why you really think he's going to be, that top running back. But like, I don't know. That's a really big risk. I feel like yeah, he dominated college football, but I feel like it's a different level.
Special. He's special, bro.
Were you listening to Smitty last year though? That's my question. Were you watching the show last year?
I'm new starting this year.
Okay.
So at the
if you were to, I was brand new last year, right? And I came in and I started watching Smitty's show. He had a lot of bold takes, and I tell you what, his bold takes were Breece Hall, and he smashed it. Kenneth Walker, he smashed it. He was smashing these running backs. Now, Javonte was big on the thing. He got injured.
Yeah.
Players get injured.
What do you mean Breece Hall? He got injured.
Yeah, but what he's trying to say.
He had 4 touchdowns.
Well, he was smashing it when he was playing. When he was playing, he was on the pace to be the number 1 running back.
What he's trying to say is we called it.
The problem with these running backs is they play the most volatile offensive skill position in football, and they take more hits than any other skill position takes, and they get injured a lot. That's the problem. Bijan has all the talent in the world. He should smash it. And, you don't know. Anybody could get injured. Bijan could get injured. Anybody could get injured.
Yeah, hey, Matt.
As far as talent goes, he's got all the talent to smash it.
Hey, Matt, I would say that the majority of I definitely miss all the time. I'm not trying to sit here and thank you, Ron. I appreciate the compliments. I miss stuff all the time, but like people wouldn't come back if I was missing more than I was landing. But I would say that Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce, those type of St. Brown, those type of lands that we had. And the misses we had that we couldn't control. You can't control the ACL tear. And to your point earlier of predicting injury, you can't control a freak ACL tear. And it just so happened 2 of my top 5 bold predictions were the 2 players that had the ACL tears. So it ended up being a very crazy year for us because we hit so many things to help support and recover from those 2 injuries. But had Breece Hall stayed healthy, he would have been arguably the number 1 or number 2 running back in fantasy football, even with a late start. This guy started in week 4, got injured in week 7, and he still would have been the number 1 or number 2 running back on the year. He had, in his game where he got injured, he had 70 yards and a touchdown on about 3 carries. He was phenomenal.
Breece Hall was killing him when he got the starting job. It was incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, all I'm saying is, bro, believe me when I tell you this, bro. Bijan is different. He is different in every sense of the word. He's going to probably lead the league in carries. He's probably going to lead the league in yards. He's probably going to lead the league or be in the top 2 or 3 in touchdowns. He'll probably be in the top 5 in PPR production. He's going to be all over the field. He's the highest character player I've seen come out of college at the running back position in some time. He's a hard worker. He's humble. He's hungry. The team is not just running their mouth saying, we're going to throw the ball to him. We're going to put him in the slot. How many coaches tell you, we're going to run him in the slot? They don't do it. They're doing it. They're doing it. And Smith, this entire system knows how to run the football, and they're probably the best or top 5 at least in the National Football League in drawing up and designing running plays. Tyler Algier was number 1 or number 2 in the entire National Football League in the final 5 weeks of the season last year. What do you think is going to happen when they put a much superior running back in that same system with Kyle Pitts now there, with Ritter getting an entire offseason to practice as the starter? I'm telling you, bro, Bijan's going to average like 4.9 to 5.2 yards per carry. He's going to rip off, he's going to have 1,500 yards on the ground. It's going to be an unbelievable season. And all these people that are freaking out about me saying he's number 1, running back number 1, he's over Christian McCaffrey. In a redraft league, I draft Bijan over Christian McCaffrey. He's my RB1. And the people that are freaking about that freaked out when we talked about this stuff at 6. I remember, Ron, I don't know if you remember when I sent you a message and I said, Ron, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop a Bijan. I take a number 6 overall. I don't care anymore. I don't care about ADP. I'm taking him 6. And you're like, don't do it, Smitty, because then the ADP is going to rise and everyone's going to have a license to go take him in the top 6. Every step of the way, I've been like, I want it to be known that this is my running back 1. And people freaked out about that. Now he goes in the 6-7 territory like clockwork. But that was bold. It's just going to get bolder and bolder and bolder. Before you know it, there'll be 15, 20 analysts out there that are saying, I got a bold take. He's my number 1 running back. You're going to start seeing that all over the place. I promise you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. Like, you got a lot of, backed up information. You did your research and your homework on, Bijan. But I mean, I guess only time can tell, and we'll see, how he actually does.
Hold on, $20 holler. Hold on.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
$20 holler from Walter. Walter John, appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate the great dialogue. Stay great, Smitty. Walt, was that Walt? You on the phone now?
Yeah, I'm still here.
That's Walt. Okay, Walt, appreciate your $20 holler while you're on hold, bro. You got the floor. You just bought the floor. What can I do for you? The show is yours.
Man, I'm actually doing a mock draft as I listen to your show, and I took Bijan 108 overall. I've got Justin Fields on here. I've got Garrett Wilson as a wide receiver 1. Got a pretty solid team. Oh, got Kenneth Walker as the RB2.
Nice job, bro.
So I'm just doing mock drafts, listening to your show, and actually jotting down notes in my notebook while I do. So I love keeping track of certain drafts, how they go, looking at teams on paper. The way you draw them on the board, I like to write them down.
Yeah, Walt. Can we call you Walt the note taker? I don't know. We'll come up with a nickname for you, but Walt the note taker. This guy's jotting down notes. That's amazing. Walt, what else you got,
hey,
bro?
Look, I'm a doctor, man. I'm always taking notes.
What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a veterinarian.
Okay, I like that, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't have my MD, but I'm the best deep fake sports doctor on the internet. Even though I don't have a. they call me the
deep. Stay at a Holiday Express last night.
I did. I'm staying at Circa Sports Las Vegas Casino on Saturday too. What's that in the background? Does somebody have like a rooster or something? What is that?
A rooster?
I hear something. It's going. It's okay.
No rooster here.
I just want to know what it is. It's like.
I mean, I didn't hear anything.
Huh, okay.
I thought it was like a bird or something.
Yeah. What else you got, Walt? Walt the note taker. No, we need a better nickname for Walt. Dr. Walt. Let's just call him Dr. Walt. Give him the respect he deserves.
Yeah, Dr.
I mean, the man went to freaking medical school. Okay. Doctor.
Vet school for sure.
Hey, don't.
Yeah, I hear that rooster now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard it then too. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Can anybody tell us what that is? Who is that? So who's got a sound in the background? It probably isn't a rooster, but it sounds like one to us. Who is that?
It almost sounds like a monkey.
A squeaky toy. The veterinarian is my dog.
Okay.
Squeaky toy.
I
Sorry.
don't have a dog.
Yeah, Walt's smart.
Wait,
he doesn't,
no, that's
he doesn't bring
someone
the animals
laughing.
home.
That's a laugh. That's like someone.
That's a squeaky toy from a
wheezing.
dog.
It's like a wheezing laugh, isn't it?
No,
It's
that's
It's a squeaky
he said
toy.
it's a squeaky toy.
Yeah.
It sounds like a squeaky toy. Now that you said it.
It's a Jimmy
Yeah, it
G.
does.
It's a Jimmy G. bobblehead squeaky toy. He's just chewing away at it. Chris says bold prediction for you, Smitty. The new jacked up Tua. I got that out of the way. Thank you for that super chat, Kyle.
Smitty, I do have a question now. As you you said Jimmy G.
Okay, Dr. Walt.
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay.
All right. Now, me personally, I think Devontae Adams is one of those receivers where it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, he's going to do well. However, Jimmy G is not known for throwing the ball down the field. He's kind of a dink and dunk type quarterback.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Devontae Adams?
Well,
Jimmy G plays?
Yeah, Dr. Walt, you must not have been here, all off season because I'm constantly telling people to stay away from Adams. Everyone says the same old thing. Adams will get his. He always finds a way. He's never been in this situation before. He's had Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. And you can rip on Derek Carr all you want, but he is a air it out quarterback. He laser locks on a wide receiver, and he threw a bunch of deep balls to Devontae Adams. He is a deep ball specialist, Derek Carr. Regardless of the winning and regardless of this and that, I think he does. I think he got a bad rap in Vegas because no one's going to win in Vegas. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he went to Vegas, he would have had a horrible ending to his career. I think Adams would have had a good year, but they would have a horrible outcome in terms of wins and losses, and that entire team would have given up by like week 10, which is what I think will happen. So if I had to predict, bro, Adams and Jacobs both are the highest likely candidates in the National Football League that are considered premium picks, right? Guys that you're drafting in the top 3 or 4 rounds. They're the highest likelihood of sitting out the remainder of a season in week 13, 14 for some sort of nagging injury. Because what good is it to go out and play for a losing team that's got 3 or 4 wins and it's week 12 and you're Jacobs, you're going to go out there and risk getting hurt when you're trying to get a big contract. You're Adams, you're going to go out there and risk getting hurt when you want to move on and go flourish somewhere else and force some sort of trade, whatever. I think the really high likelihood for that. Not to mention Jacobs is facing 8-man front after 8-man front this year because Jimmy G can't throw the ball downfield. So Jimmy G's going to get the best hope you have is that Jimmy gets replaced, or I don't want to say you hope he gets injured, but if he was to get injured or just be removed from the lineup, let's say, the quicker that happens, the more likely the rookie quarterback gets in there, or they bring in Wentz, or they make some sort of weird trade or for Trey Lance or whatever, and they get another quarterback in there that can have me come in and say, you know what? This quarterback can throw down the field. Even if they're not winning games, Adams could still get his. But Adams has never played with a quarterback that can't throw more than 12 yards down the field. How is he going to get the numbers? Could they throw to him like Jimmy G threw to Debo? I suppose, but is he going to get hurt? If they just start throwing 1-yard passes to him or negative yard passes to him, and he starts, catching the football behind the line of scrimmage and doing what Debo did, are they going to actually be able to design schemes like Shanahan could to do that and be successful? It's not as easy as it looks. And number 2, he'll get hurt. Adams getting hurt is such a high likelihood, in my opinion. And it's not that I don't like him in the weeklies. I got auto drafted on Adams on accident at the 12 pick. I was so pissed last night. But, the more I looked at it, I'm like, in the weeklies, I don't mind it because I do think he'll have a couple big games. But overall, I'm out on Adams, bro. At second round value, hell no. Not even close. Like third round value, it'd be a different story. But he's not going in the third round, so there's no even conversation to have. Hang tight real quick, Dr. Walt, and then I'm going to keep going around the phone line. Just hang tight. Let me get these 2 super chats out of the way. Hey, Smitty, rank my best ball squad. T-Law, A-Rod, Watson, Bijan, Gibbs, Hall, Chase, Brown, Jeff Wilson, Clyde, Garrett Wilson, Tony, Dell, Kincaid. I like this team a lot, bro. I like this team a lot. Gibbs and Bijan, phenomenal. A-Rod, Deshaun, your T-Law, you're great at quarterback. I like that you went this. It's a 1 QB format, but you're trying to dominate that rotational optimal scoring to get set for you by the best ball format. So I understand why you might be trying to get a little sneaky at wide receiver with Tony as your 2 and Dell as your 3 and Johnston as your, with Dell as your 3. I like it. It's a really, really good looking squad. It's definitely a squad I think that could do some damage. Very, very good job. Thank you for the super chat. Bryson with another says, what do you think about the fantasy outlook will be on Kenneth Walker with Charbonnet there? Do you think he could still be a top 10 running back? Maybe he's such a stud. Yeah, I think I've talked about this a lot, and I've got videos on it if you haven't seen it. But Walker, to me, it wouldn't shock me if we come out of week 1 and we're going to be celebrating with, oh my God, like everyone just completely overreacted about Charbonnet because Walker goes nuts. Charbonnet doesn't get even used, and he's not even like remotely close to it. And you're going to see everybody else catch up to what we're talking about. Charbonnet is a glorified handcuff. He's kind of Alexander Madison of years prior, not this year where he's starting, but where we're drafting Madison to win a league if he gets in there, times 10. Like he is a guy that if he got in there, I would be scared that Walker won't get more than half his carries back. It'd be a 50-50 split. I'm not worried about if Charbonnet gets on the field to deliver what he could deliver. That's how good Charbonnet is, because he was a top 5 to 10 running back to me coming out of college, and we were hoping he was going to land a starting job and be a top 10 running back alongside of Walker. I envisioned coming into the NFL draft, I envisioned a lot of us having Walker that we draft at like 15 overall and get him at steal territory, and Charbonnet we draft as our other running back, and we'd all be holding hands walking into the sunset with these 2 guys as starters from different teams. But it didn't work out that way. But Charbonnet's so good that he could be a top 5 to 10 running back in that offense, a run-heavy system. And similar to when Penny went down and Walker took over, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But if Walker stays healthy, I think he explodes. And I think everybody that drafts Walker has to draft Charbonnet. If you don't reach a round on Charbonnet, just 1 round's all you need to do. Instead of picking him at 104, you pick him at 95, or whatever. If you don't reach and you miss, that's on you, because I've explained it. You can win a league with Walker and Charbonnet together. You can absolutely win a league. That is why they are one of the top 4 best picks in fantasy football 2023. It is number 4. My number 4 best pick in fantasy football is Walker, and you see Charbonnet in the graphic. This is it. These are the top 4 picks in all of fantasy football 2023 for me. And I look, Pete Carroll said this. This is the phone call. It was, hey, Charbonnet, congratulations, you're now a Seahawk, comma, not even end of sentence. You're going to have to play special teams. That was the first thing out of Pete Carroll's mouth. You got to play special teams. Charbonnet might not touch the ball for a while. And I have a feeling these other analysts everywhere are going to be like, well, so guys, coming out of week 1, Kenneth Walker, 110 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 catches for 23 yards. What do you all think? Hey, Bob, what do you think? I don't know, Bill. I think a lot of people overreacted. Are we looking at a top 5 running back? I think we are. That's the conversation we could really be looking at going into week 2. And so to answer your question, complete stud, totally baked in the 4th and 5th round. It's ridiculous that he's going in round 4 and 5, but I'm taking him with a smile every single time. He's the best pick, one of the best 4 picks in fantasy football 2023. Appreciate you all dropping these super chats. Guys, hang tight. I got 2 more, and then I'll get to you. Hector says, my hot take of the year, CMC goes for 1K rushing and 1K receiving. If he stays healthy, it's certainly possible. I do fear, though, Hector, that his mind, this is a guy we were scared about having. This is a guy we were scared about having walking into the season before he was traded to San Francisco. And now all of a sudden, because he's with the Niners, the most prone team to injure their running back, by the way, Now all of a sudden we're just giving him more than 1 year. Like, not only did we give him the 1 year in San Francisco, we're giving him another one. We're just like, hey, yeah, he's going to go again another season. Like, it's weird that no one's talking about that. We literally, as a community, a fantasy football community as a whole, gave Christian McCaffrey maybe that 1 more year. And now it's just he's granted at least 1 more season, no questions asked. That's all. It just concerns me a little. And that boy said 2 QB, 3 wide receiver league, trying to form a draft strategy, any standard rule to follow. 2 QB, 3 wide receiver league. If you get a top 6 pick, go with Fields or T-Law or above. Don't even hesitate. And then my strategy is to go back to normal. In round 2, you draft a wide receiver, running back. Round 3, draft a wide receiver, running back. Round 4 or 5, you contemplate QB depending on who falls. But Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, those guys are my favorite second quarterback because you'll be drafting against traffic in rounds 2 and 3 and 4 if you're drafting non-quarterbacks. But if you get a pick outside of that top 6 or whatever, and you don't get T-Law or Fields, sometimes you get T-Law or Fields at 7, 8, or 9, and then you're just follow the same strategy that I just gave you. But I've taken Chase and Bijan or Garrett Wilson and Bijan and just try and do my best at quarterback in round 4 and 5. You know, that would be what I would do. I'm not forcing a Deshaun Watson or Danny Dimes in round 2. You just got to hope that you don't, you kind of got screwed with the draft pick if you're not in a top 6 or 7 pick, or if you get a 6 or 7 and you get Fields or T-Law, then you made it out lucky. But you got to almost swing a little bit for the fences with that strategy if you get a late first round pick. All right, let's go back to the phone line real quick. Let me circle around. I'm going to give everybody a final word here. And we got 144 of you in here. Punch the thumb up button. Yusuf, you've been waiting patiently to get back in the spotlight here, pal. What do you got? Give me your final thoughts.
I got nothing much for you, Smitty.
Okay. Yusuf, appreciate you calling more often. Okay, the phone lines are open pretty much every night, so we'll see you tomorrow, okay?
For sure. All right, Smitty, take care.
All right, later. Nick, final thoughts, Nick.
Final thoughts. Well,
God,
what
Nick.
are your thoughts on the Giants receiver outlook?
Nick hasn't even gone yet.
I've been doing best balls, and I've gotten Hodgins a lot. I've gotten Campbell a lot. What are your thoughts on that in general when it comes to the Giants situation? Best ball, redraft, all of the above.
Yeah, it's a good question. The Giants wide receiver room, to me, is one of the deepest wide receiver rooms in the league in terms of mediocre talent. They've got like wide receiver 2, 3s for days. The whole slew of them are all wide receiver like 2s. Slayton, really good wide receiver 2. Not wide receiver 2 in fantasy, but wide receiver 2 for a team. Like, he's a wide receiver 2. He's like a Mooney. Slayton's like a Mooney. Mooney belongs as a wide receiver 2. When he was given the spotlight, he didn't do very well. He got hurt but I think Slayton's good. I think Hodgins is good. I think Hyatt is the most likely wide receiver to become a wide receiver 1 for the team. And if it doesn't happen, then I don't know that there is one there. I think Darren Waller leads all of them in yards and touchdowns and receptions, maybe. I think Darren Waller becomes a super sleeper this year if he stays healthy.
So you think with Campbell, all the talk about Campbell is just coach speak, OTA, stuff like that. But when it comes to the season, they won't be using him.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any coach gets asked about a player. It's like, hey, how does Campbell look? Oh, he looks like crap. I don't know. He's all right. They're like, no, he's great. Campbell's been moving around all over the field like a soup. Campbell's been hot and fresh. But Slayton is good. Hodgins I really liked. I was drafting him in early best ball like mad before the NFL draft. I really was on Hodgins, but then they drafted Hyatt and kind of deflated that balloon. But I like Hodgins. I probably like Hodgins more than anybody else. If Hyatt, let's say Hyatt got hurt and couldn't play, like he got hurt and didn't play the rest of the year, I'd probably push all my chips in on Hodgins. and kind of remember why I liked him, because I've kind of forgot why I liked him. I've kind of lost sight of that because of the Hyatt drafting, to be honest.
I think so too. I mean, I think Hodgins is the complete receiver. Everybody, he won't be affected because he won't be playing the slot. He's going to play the outside, so it's going to be, he'll be a guy you could depend on the perimeter. If you're a crazy position late in the draft and you're a receiver, I've been going with him a lot.
Yeah. What is that? Is someone drinking another juice box? What's going on? Who is that? Is that Cali Loco?
Sounds like a Capri Sun.
Yeah, who's sipping on a juice box? Who was that? Matt? Was that you, Matt?
Bring any for everyone else.
Matt, was that you?
I'm just waiting here for my final take, man.
Yeah, Cali Loco. I mean, nobody ever admits when they're doing something. They just you're sipping on a juice box. Admit it. It's okay.
I'm ready for another Breece Hall take, so I'm just waiting up.
All right, who is it that just talked? Nick, do you have any final thoughts? You've been waiting patiently. Did you want to add anything else? Another question before I bumped everybody from the line and call it a night?
Yeah, I find myself also with that. So I've been looking at Sharp Football Analysis. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him, but he says that the Saints have the easiest schedule into the upcoming season. Do you have anything that may correlate to that, obvious, with that overall? I mean, we obviously love Olave. I think I've been getting myself some shares of Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
Saints and then Kamara when I can get him because he's baked in value at this point.
Yeah, Saints have a pretty nice setup, bro. The division. I mean, look at the division. They play everybody in the division twice. The Saints are set up nicely. What is that?
What?
I don't know who's doing that. I'm waiting too, Smitty.
Okay, hold on. Cali Loco. Is that you talking right now?
Yeah, I'm waiting, but
okay, so that wasn't you. Dr. Walt, is that you? Are you working on an animal right now? What was that?
No, it was not a...
Okay, so Nick, was that you?
No, it was not me.
So Ron, was that you?
There it is again.
Then it's Matt. Matt, it has to be you. It has to be you, Matt.
Got some damn children on the line.
I've been waiting here, man.
There's no. Who's making the sound, Matt? That's what we're asking.
It's not me, man.
I don't know why people don't admit it. I don't know. Maybe it's not Matt, but why can't someone admit they're?
Like, how can you say that to me? That's like saying Bijan's going first round. Like,
see, that's because that's what I don't trust you, Matt. I don't trust your judgment.
They don't trust me.
Clearly.
Okay.
Right, bye.
Oh God, he hung up. God, man. He got. See, I knew he wasn't gonna come back. He just hung up.
What it was.
He just no. Let's not name call him, but let's not name call him. But Matt, call back. Don't end it like that. Not to mention, Matt, you were gonna give me another Breece Hall take, which I was very curious to hear. And if you hung up now, none of us believe you're coming back to drop your $100 super chat if you literally bailed off the line right now. Let's have a little more balls of steel than that, Matt. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, what was that? Was that somebody like? It sounded like someone was like. There was a pig or something that was like snorting or something in the background, like an animal. That's why I thought maybe it was Walt, Dr. Walt.
Can you imagine if you're sitting getting the haircut from Matt and he gets pissed off and leaves
when you got half a bowl
out of the shop?
You got half a bowl cut going. You got half a bowl cut going, and he walks off. Like, I don't understand. I didn't even say anything that bad. I just said I didn't trust his judgment. He said Mike Thomas is better than Olave. Like, I guess it's a fair criticism. He's got a lot to prove, but he just hung
like
up.
A sensitive Susan.
There's no way if Matt doesn't call back. There's no way Matt's coming back to pay his debt. There's no way he is. If he's just gonna bail like that because of one comment, and I said worse to him before that. Like I felt like I felt like I didn't even say anything. I was very nice. I was like, I don't trust your judgment. Real nice tone.
I thought the guys up in the northeast up there in New Jersey and New York and Boston, thought they were supposed to be thick-skinned.
I don't know. Matt, call back in. Make this.
I'm calling from the northeast.
Matt, make this right. I haven't heard the pig sound since Matt hung up though.
Suspicious indeed.
Was anybody doing anything weird they don't realize it sounded like that? Was someone said you sound like gargling?
But we heard that sound the other night, Smitty. Somebody was on a Slurpee, drinking a Slurpee. It sounded the same.
Yeah, that's why I wondered if it was Cali Loco because he was on the phone the last time. I thought we heard some kind of sound. Anyway, okay, Nick. Final thoughts, Matt. We're waiting for you to call back with your Brees Hall take. I don't know why you jumped like that.
Final thoughts for me is, Smitty, you're doing an amazing job. Appreciate all your hard work, and thank you for making the community for us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. I'm trying. Sometimes not everybody loves my style, I guess, but it is what it is. All right, later, pal.
So sometimes you're babysitting.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm babysitting. All right, Nick, give us that sound one more time before you leave. I know it was you.
No, it wasn't me.
Was it the dog? Maybe you just don't realize that there was a dog in the background, or it went like this. No?
Oof, that was nothing on me.
It wasn't Nick? Okay. Man, I don't know who it was. It had to have been Matt because Matt left and I haven't heard it since. All right, Nick, appreciate you. Later, pal.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, Cali Loco.
I think we got a new nickname for Matt. We got Matt O in there and Sensitive Matt.
I just don't know why Matt took such an offense to my my comment was, hey, Matt, I don't trust your judgment. You like Mike Thomas more than Olave. Is that crazy?
No, Michael Thomas is done.
And guys, give Matt a break in the chat. I want him back. I liked Matt. Matt was good for the show. It was good to have a person that had a different take than us. But I don't know why he got so upset. Okay, let's go over to Cali Loco. You got final thoughts?
Yeah, I had a super chat in there. We got the whole Michael Thomas got derailed. It was in there. But I have a unique league. It's like a quarterback with 5 flex, and I have like a holdover, just one person. It's JJ. And the last couple of years, I went Allen as my quarterback. It's explosive play league. You get bonuses for long distance touchdowns, both for throwing and for receiving or running it in, whatever. So I've had JJ holding him over, but I've used Allen, but I'm thinking of switching up to either Burrow or Fields. But Chase is held over already. Somebody's got Chase, So I'm thinking of combining either Burrow Higgins or going Fields and maybe DJ. What do you think?
There's Matt. Matt's back in the chance. Field or DJ? I like Fields, but I don't know that I like DJ. There could be better options to draft with Fields and not worry so much about the stack. I don't force that stack. I don't force it. It doesn't in redraft or dynasty if it's non-best ball. Doesn't matter. In best ball, it's nice, but there's got to be potentially a better player. So give me some other options. New York Barbershop is back in the chat. Call in. I want to be nice to New York Barbershop shop in the chat. Let's not have him run off. I want him. I want every customer satisfied here. And New York Barbershop, let's give you a chance to give us your Brees Hall take. Call back in. Don't take such offense over me saying I don't trust your judgment because we feel differently about Michael Thomas. Like if you told me you like Jimmy G, I would say I don't trust your judgment, and then you're gonna hang up on me. But just call in. I'm not mad at you, New York Barbershop. Just call in. Let's fix this. Okay, let's hug it out. Cali Loco. Cali Loco.
Do you think? Here's my last take.
Yeah.
Do you think his Michael Thomas was a real take, or you think he's just trying to, work it?
I think he is actually.
I can't see it being a real take.
But that's what I want him to understand is everyone in here is like, what are you talking about, bro? But we do have, what's his name? Jake the Snake, who thinks that Mike Thomas is going to be better than Olave. So we have seen it before. So I don't think it's the craziest take ever. But it's just a take I think is 100% wrong. We've seen crazier take. His Bijan take is worse than the Mike Thomas Olave take. To say he's not a first rounder, Bijan's not a first rounder, that is a worse take than the other one. But I'd like to hear his Brees Hall take. but apparently he's not going to dial in. I don't know why he got so upset. Didn't take offense, just
He just
about
said-
to puke, to be honest. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Michael Thomas could have a good year, but his leg was just destroyed, and I don't see it coming back. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't show anything last year. If he's going to, that's just some kind of miraculous cure. They give him like some kind of Captain America, give him a shot and he becomes a Superman again.
Hey,
I don't see it.
New York.
Usually it'll happen when you're older.
Yeah, New York Matt, it looks like he's been out sipping on some grandpa's cough medicine tonight. So let's cut him some slack chat. He's had a couple
Maybe that's
brewskis.
what it almost sounded like a pukey sound.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Matt. He was doing some, but Matt Matt is probably a little tipsy. So Matt is just, he had to jump off the line. He said he was going to throw up. So let's cut him some slack and let's not run Matt away. I actually like having Matt around. But the phone line's open, Matt, if you end up getting back on your horse tonight. We're closing it down here real soon, but that sound had to have come from Matt then. If he said he was about to throw up, that sound was like this.
Yeah, hey Smitty, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, man. Great show. Appreciate you having me on today.
Is this Callie?
No, that's Dr. Walt.
Oh, Dr. Walt. Dr. Walt, you have a final take real quick before you jump?
Oh man, final take. I believe in Breece Hall this year.
Yeah, I do
think
too.
I think that's a guy that definitely needs to get more hype. I know we're all still waiting for training camp, but I think he's gonna do what he would have done last year. Top 5 running back.
Hey, are you watching this? Can you watch the show? Like, are you on your phone and you can't see? Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to.
I can watch it.
Because you got an MD, because you're a doctor, I want to get a
DVM. I have a DVM.
DVM.
Not an MD.
Yeah. Just as impressive, all right? This isn't like you're a dentist, okay? Can I get you to watch this science that I've got here on Jahmyr Gibbs, and can you tell me if it's valid, if you can break down the science behind it? This is why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 running back. You tell me if this is accurate, okay? Here we go. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
I love this video.
I know you're still watching it, but does that make sense? I mean, you've got an extensive background in schooling, and I just want to make sure.
I remember when I first saw this. And actually, I think you played this for me the first time I was on your show, and I was like, I didn't know you were a physics teacher.
Makes sense? Okay. I just want to get clarification. My numbers were coming through.
I think you just needed to round the 4 one more time, and I think you'd be spot on.
Okay. Dr. Walt, we'll see you next time, pal. Call in more often.
Hey, Dr. Walt, what state you in?
Say what now?
What state you in?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. All right. I got some good friends down. You're down there where Terry's at. Terry and Blind Larry are both down there in Houston.
Oh, okay.
All right, Dr. Walt.
Yeah.
Dr. Walt, appreciate you, man. Later.
Hey, appreciate you today.
All right. Cali Loco, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm looking forward to this fantasy season. I like your Detroit take the other day. I think they're a good shot for. I'm hoping that they make playoffs. I mean,
yeah,
they're a fun team to watch. They deserve it. Have a little, fun in their life. There's nothing wrong. Everybody else has did it. Why can't they make the playoffs? And I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team, but.
They're definitely
a playoff win. Get a playoff win.
Division winning capable Lions, division winning capable Bears. Honestly, I think the Packers are going to put up a fight. But thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. All right, we'll see you, Cali Loco. Call in tomorrow.
Bye.
Later. Last caller. Who's this? You're live. Oh.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? It's Ninja.
Okay, what's up, pal?
Not much, man.
And we got Denny. We got Denny on hold. Denny, please just hang tight real quick. Denny, let me answer his question, and then I'm going to come to you. So, Denny, just hit mute real quick. Hit mute real quick, Denny. All right. Go ahead, real quick, ask your question before Denny just takes full control of the show.
Okay, I got you. So after the first preseason game or second preseason game, when we see Jahmyr Gibbs catch like 3 passes in like the first 5 minutes of the first quarter of a preseason Lions game, how high do you think his ADP is going to be going compared to where it is now? I'm seeing him going in like the 3rd rounds sometimes.
He's a second rounder.
Drafts,
he's a second round. I told everybody that Bijan would eventually go like as running back 1 or running back 2, and everyone that said no, he's climbing to the first round maybe. Everybody had Matt's stance, like, oh, I don't know if I could take him in the first round. I said it. He's gonna go as high as like 1, 2, 3, 4 overall, and he's definitely going as high as 4 overall right now. He will go number 1 overall. I promise you, you will see Bijan Robinson going above both wide receivers, Jamar Chase and JJ. Not on the regular, but periodically, 1 out of every 6 drafts, you're going to see somebody take him at least 2 overall. And so the same thing's going to happen with Gibbs in terms of what I've said before, climbing into round 2. He'll be a top 18 to 24 overall pick, but I can only urge you guys not to be involved in that until it happens. Take clear advantage that he's a 4th rounder, sometimes, late 3rd rounder. He's an excellent mid-3rd round pick. Just take advantage of it. Don't be grabbing him in round 2 yet. Now it's time to clean up and win. And if you just get excited and you do what Speedy does all the time, you just take a guy way early, you're stepping on your own junk and getting in your own way, and you're going to fall down because it's hard to balance when you do that. And why do it when you don't need to? I got Jahmyr Gibbs at pick 38 in this draft. He was my 4th drafted player. Jahmyr Gibbs was my 4th drafted player. I got him at 4.2. In this draft, you saw me live drafting tonight. I took him at 4.2. And I even took a gamble by taking Christian Watson at 35 at the end of round 3. I could have took Gibbs here, but I took a little bit of a gamble. I thought Christian Watson might go before him, and it paid off. I took him as my 4th drafted player. This team is fire. Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. This is the weeklies. All I have to do is have these guys line up for 1 week. It could be week 1. It could be week 2. It could be week 4. This is not a season-long contest. This is an individual 17 separate leagues, essentially, type of weekly contest where I don't draft again. But can this team beat everybody in one individual week somewhere? And I win $20K if they do. And I got Bijan, Gibbs, Kamara, Kendre Miller, Deuce Vaughn, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Kadarius Toney, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Jalen Hyatt, Nathaniel Tank Dell, Dalton Kincaid, Chiga Okonkwo, and I think Laporta is down there. But that's
a unique build. I like that.
Yeah, it's the kind of team that can win. All right, final question.
No, appreciate you, Smitty. I just wanted to know what you thought about that and like where his ADP could ultimately like max out after
He's second
the
round bound.
Game.
15 to 24. All right, later. All right, Denny, you're live. Look at Denny, he's so quiet.
Oh, great show tonight, Smitty. I'm not even drinking.
Denny's gargling. It was you, Denny. It was you. Denny.
No, I just called him. I wasn't on the phone. That wasn't me.
6 days, and I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you in Vegas live on my show. In 6 days, Denny's gonna be live on my show in a chair next to me. Denny is gonna be on this show live in 6 days.
Yes,
in
sir.
Vegas.
Yes, sir. It will. I will. Hey, I just checked out the spot too for the first time. I just checked out the. That's a sick sports book, man. That place is sick. I'm gonna lose a lot of money making little side bets walking through that sports book.
Denny's gonna lose a lot of money just walking to the pool. Yeah, Circa Las Vegas Casino, the Stadium Swim sports book, like outside. It's got a sports book and like blackjack tables and a pool and what looks to be the size of like 2 or 3 drive-in movie theater screens with all the games all over the entire screen. Every game that's live at that moment is on a different like huge screen. It looks like 2 or 3, and everybody's in the pool, like drinking and looking up at the TV in the pool, watching the games. Stadium Swim is amazing. It's in the Old Town downtown. It's not on the main strip. It's on the old strip. with like Golden
That's the
Nugget.
best part.
Yeah, like where Golden Nugget is and all those. But I'll be there all day, 9 a.m. Vegas time until about at least 3 p.m. in the poolside in a suite. Your boy's getting set up in the outdoor suite, doing the live stream the entire show Saturday. And
Awesome.
I believe Friday night they may be setting me up for the 7 p.m. show somewhere. If not, I'll walk around. I don't really care, but they're slammed. But they're trying to hook me up with like a room or a table somewhere, where they can approve me live streaming. So Friday I'm going to be live streaming. It's going to be great.
I'm around there. I'm staying right down around there. So I'll be in there Friday.
Yeah. Denny, anything else?
I got nothing, brother. I just wanted to let you know it was a good show tonight, and I'm looking forward to hanging out and chilling and having a friggin' great time out there in Vegas, buddy.
Hey, guess who's on the phone? Your bunkmate.
It's gotta be Ronnie Navy. Ronnie Squid.
Yes, sir. What's up, Jarhead?
What's up, Ronnie Squid? How you doing, buddy? Are you gonna come out to Vegas or what?
Nah, I can't make it this time.
Well, you'll be there on the phone with us.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll dial in.
Yeah, I'll dial in. I'll be there in spirit.
All right, it's late out here, guys. I just wanted to call in, send some love. It was a great show tonight, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right, later, Denny. Appreciate you. Avi.
Later, Smith. Yo, what's up, Ronnie? Yo,
Juju Sister Smith.
I couldn't hear you. Get the laundry out of your mouth. What'd you say?
It's Juju Schuster Smith.
I can't. It's not. You're breaking up.
He said he said Juju Smith, and you're supposed to say Oliver.
Oliver. I didn't hear that. Oliver. My game's off, man. Good looks. Juju will love that one.
Is that a girl? Is that a girl you're trying to make Miss Denny? That you're trying to impress?
My game ain't what it used to be, but I still keep it going.
All right. Well, whatever we can do to help assist, we could be your wingmen. Okay. All right, Denny.
You got a wingman. You're definitely gonna be my wingman out there in Vegas. All right.
Well, we appreciate you, Denny. We'll talk to you later.
All right, later, dudes.
Avi, final thoughts.
I just have a question on Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson. How would you rank those running backs? Obviously you want Gibbs. You want Gibbs over all of them. But how would you rank them? If you needed an RB2, who would you go with?
You said Najee, Gibbs, Stevenson,
Aaron Jones.
Stevenson, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, obviously Gibbs is above those three.
Yeah, I'd
say
easily one. I think Najee and Stevenson are tied at 2. I think Aaron Jones is the clear 4.
Yeah.
But if
RBs are hard.
If I had to pick, let's force myself. I'm gonna say, and I'm sure Ron is not going to take great offense to this because I'm sure he likes Stevenson as well. There's pros and cons. I'm going to say Stevenson's my 2, Najee's my 3, but I think the ADP supports that because he's going in the 3rd round. He's going in the third to 4th round. Gibbs and Najee's going in the 3rd to 4, but I think we're loving him in 4. So that there's a little bit more appeal. He becomes a home run in 4. He's Stevenson I think is protected into probably so much volume. But you never know. Najee could easily outscore Stevenson easily. Najee, remember Najee was a 1st round pick last year, and
yeah.
I think we forget sometimes how much potential he could have if he's healthy and the offensive line's fixed and but Aaron Jones is the injury risk. He's the big question mark for me. And since he goes in round, what is he, 5? 4 or 5?
Yeah. Round 5.
Yeah, I'd say 5. I'd say that the rounds kind of tell the story here. He goes a little bit. Stevenson goes a little bit higher than Gibbs, but we're on top of Gibbs as a breakout. So Gibbs is my 1. Stevenson and Najee I think are a better tie than ranking them, and Aaron Jones is clearly the 4th. But he's interesting.
All right.
But I don't find myself drafting a lot of Aaron Jones. I guess I'm kind of worried about the injuries finally catching up to him.
Yeah, I'm just I feel like RB2 this year is going to be a little difficult. Like after the top 10 running backs, it gets a little spicy. All right, thank you.
Yeah, all right, later, Avi.
I rank it differently. I rank Najee, Stevenson, and Gibbs. That's how I rank them.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I mean, how can you 1 year removed from having him in the first round? So I get it.
Well, not just that, just the improvements. And I've been watching it in OTAs. I've been watching the film, watching how he's been, and I think he could very well easily repeat his rookie year. And I mean, Gibbs, Gibbs should be great, but he hasn't played yet. So I know how Najee can play. I know how Stevenson can play. So that's how I rank them anyways, for me.
Yeah. Okay. This is a crazy one. Olave, let's see here. Let me go to the board on this one. This one's a super chat here by, who super chatted this? Kyle. Kyle, this is a tough one. Okay. So let me move Olave down because you can't see him. Olave, and then you've got Diggs, Pollard, and Kadarius Toney. Man. Okay, let's put Diggs, Pollard, Toney. So what I like to do on these types of trades is eliminate some of the players involved that are very arguable and even. And I think that like Dotson and Toney, you could easily argue that Dotson's the guy we want more than Toney, but they're going around the same territory. And in some cases, Toney's usually going higher. So even if we just like, I don't want to say not factor that, but for right now, we'll just pretend they don't exist. So it's really Barkley versus Diggs, and Olave versus Pollard, or, if you want to compare the running backs and wide receivers, you could do that way too. But I think if it's Dynasty, is this Dynasty? Dynasty trade offer. If it's Dynasty, you're looking at an older player in Diggs, so that's a huge disadvantage. So give me Barkley, and since these guys are more comparable ADP-wise probably, the advantage goes to Barkley. Olave, Pollard, I'm going to feel differently about this part of the evaluation if Pollard gets extended. If he gets extended by July 17, and he's on a 1 year franchise tag, just over $10 million deal. But he's in the same exact boat as Jacobs is in and Barkley's in. He just signed his franchise tag. That's the only difference between Pollard. He said, I'm going to sign it, but I'm hopeful that they extend me on a long-term deal. There's still hope that Pollard gets a 3 or 4 year deal. It's not super likely, but it's still on the table. And the reason the team would do that is if they expect him to blow up, they don't want to have to overpay through the roof to a guy that just exploded. Like right now, they can kind of underpay him if they believe in him, and they believed in him enough to franchise tag him. But, so if he gets extended, I'm much more in love with his dynasty appeal. Right now, if he goes out there on the 1 year franchise tag and gets hurt, he's going to have trouble finding a job next year. And he could fall off the face of the earth. That's a little bit of a risk in dynasty. We love him. We think he's going to explode. But it's just from a dynasty perspective, being smart about it. On a franchise tag as a running back, needing a landing spot next year, there's a little bit more risk right here, but I love him. I think this side of the deal, overall, Dotson, Barkley, Olave is just safer. I think Barkley's got good amount of time left. Diggs doesn't. Diggs has got maybe, I think this year and maybe one more before he's a totally different player, even if he lingers in the league for a while. Toney's got no sort of security long-term, but I do like him. And Pollard's just in that we think he's going to blow up. I do love him. I love him in redraft. I even love him in Dynasty because I just think he's such a good player, but there's concerns. This right here is just the safer side by quite a bit in Dynasty. So appreciate that super chat, Kyle. Thank you very much. My boy Michael John Wolf in the building. Do get some sleep. I don't need sleep, Michael. You let me worry about the sleep. Appreciate you being here. It's my boy. Anything else, Ron, before I let you jump?
No, I agree. I'd take the Dotson Barkley Olave side. Tony, I mean, we don't know yet if he can mentally keep it together and all that other stuff. Diggs is obviously going crazy, and you don't know what he's going to do. Pollard we like, but so I take that Barkley, Olave, and Dotson. And Dotson could very well do a lot better than Tony. I think he has the capability. Dotson and Olave both. I mean, smash.
Yeah. Hey, Cali Loco, did I miss this? If you're still here, I apologize. Let me know if you're still here, Cali Loco. I want to thank you for the super chat, and I'm going to answer it right now. I don't know if this one slipped by me. Is the Barbershop guy still here? Oh, man. Hopefully he calls back in before he... I have a bad feeling he's not coming back, Ron, but if he does, he might not remember what happened. I'm in one holdover explosive bonus points league with JJ 1 QB 5 or no, I'm sorry, JJ with JJ 1 QB 5 flex went Josh Allen, Gabe Davis, thinking of going Burrow, Higgins, or Fields and DJ. Oh, this is what I think he was asking me on the phone, I think. Have Allen last 2 years. Okay, this is what he was asking. So it seems like you want to just stack, and what I was telling you earlier is I don't force it, man. I'd take the best wide receiver to go with Fields or the best wide receiver to go with Burrow. I wouldn't worry so much about the stacking thing. I know explosive bonus play points. I don't know if you're saying that you get the points only with the connection. If that was the case, then of course I would lean more this direction. But if you're talking about just bonus plays, I don't know that I'm tying the two together. If anything, think of it this way, bro. If you got, let's say you got Fields or Josh Allen or Burrow, but Burrow's better than Fields for, well, not necessarily if the explosive plays could be a running play, but let's say you take Burrow. If you go get Burrow and a wide receiver like Olave, or a wide receiver like Christian Watson, you might have more explosive plays than you would if you had to stack, because Burrow might not always have that explosive play with T. Higgins. You might get like 4 more explosive points, 5-point bonuses or whatever the bonuses are by having Olave and Burrow. Like I wouldn't just cuff it together unless it's best ball, and it doesn't sound like it is. This is a weird league that is not best ball scoring. So don't focus on the stack, man. The stack's not always going to get it done. Plus, you could still go get crafty guys to cuff with your quarterback. Example, like Tyler Scott, Ron's boy. You could take him at the very end of your draft, and you could get the Fields and Tyler Scott explosive plays. Dalton Kincaid and Josh Allen, and then don't worry about cuffing Gabe Davis. You go get, a different player like Dotson or something like that versus forcing. So don't force it. Hopefully Cali Loco's here to hear that advice, but appreciate that super chat. Ron, I'll see you tomorrow. Zoom call. We'll get on a Zoom call.
All righty. Sounds good. Later, everybody.
All right, man. Prayers up for Miss Navy.
Thanks, bro.
All right, later. All right, guys, I'm out of here. 129 of you still in here. Punch that thumb up button, please, on your way out the door. We've got, how many thumbs up we got? 97. Let's get that well over 100. Punch that thumb up button and subscribe if you're new, and go out there and get Breece hauled in 2023.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always
real
answer
quickly before I play that, if you guys want to be a YouTube exclusive member, please get on over to this link right here. You can also find it. Here's the link right here. For $1.99 a month, $1.99 a month, you can get the green names and drop all the cool emojis that you always see. And then the $9.99 a month plan, which you can upgrade to or downgrade anytime you want, or just get it for 1 month and cancel the whole thing. You get, during the season, you get 2 Zoom calls every Sunday. And you get 1 Zoom call during the off season every Sunday. So we all jump on Zoom. You can have your camera off, your mic off, and just listen like a podcast in a way and just watch the screen. But during the Sundays, the morning, I jump on at halftime of the morning games, the first set of games on Sunday, and I jump on at halftime during the Sunday evening game. And we do all the buy low, sell high, kicking around the ideas. And then all those ideas I take to the show. So it's kind of like you're helping create content for the upcoming, waiver wire show, all that. So I dropped that link. And then if you guys want to draft next time. That link is pinned in the live chat. If you want to make this draft next time we draft, make sure you hit that link in the live chat or in the description of the video that says Play Underdog Fantasy. That link is pinned. Sign up now so you don't get delayed next time and you aren't like scrambling to like sign up. Just do it. It's a $10 minimum. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. So use your first deposit number wisely, because if you drop 100, they'll give you 100. If you drop 10, they'll give you 10 on your first deposit only. So be mindful of that. And don't forget to get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com, which is my content site. I've got rankings, trade calculator, bold predictions, text advice. And this right here, this new articles section is revamped. You can search by player, by team, and the content's going to be up, all the new content's going to fall into this format. So if you search right now, you might only find these first few because it's going to start adding up as I add them. But you can search by position, by upside, by downside, if it's a negative article or if it's an upside article on the player. Every article is basically one player spotlight. So it's all very, very easy to filter by player, team, position, upside, downside, or just most recent by this link right here, or using this carousel on the homepage. This is the most recent stuff added, but that's at thefantasyfootballshow.com. So go check that out. I will see you all tomorrow.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hell of a job. A hell of a job. A hell of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Later, New York Barbershop. We hope to get you back. Get you back on the show. Don't take offense to the criticism or anything like that, pal. We'll see you back here. Matt, see you. D-Town, Matt O, Diddy, Ron Navy, appreciate you. Robert Hunt, appreciate you. Dean Johnson, Mac, Wolf, appreciate you. Michael John Wolf, Najee. Tons of volume, says Frank. And thank you to all my guys. Make sure you follow me on Threads, which is like the new Twitter. It's a Twitter competitor. Go to The Fantasy Football Show when you're on Threads, or the link is right here. Let me drop it in the live chat. Please follow me on Threads. I promise you it's going to be such amazing content. The content is lit. I just dropped that link right there. My super chatters of the night: Kyle, appreciate you. That boy, appreciate you. Hector, appreciate you dropping your super chat. We got Kyle again dropping another $10 hauler. Kyle, you are the man. Hey, Smitty, rank my best ball team. I did that. And I got your other Dynasty question. Okay, I got you covered. Walter, Dr. Walt in the building. Appreciate Dr. Walt. We got Chris dropping the $5 hauler. We got Bryson dropping so much tonight. There's the $4.99. Bryson dropping the $20 hauler. AJ Lancaster, the $9.99 hauler. Chris, the $5 hauler. Bryson, another $2. Cali Loco dropping the 10 spot. Hopefully Cali caught my response to that. Bryson again. David, Bryson dropping the $10 hauler to kick off the show, I believe. Look at that. Appreciate you all. See you tomorrow. Blind Larry says, is there an Android Weeklies update? I'll have that. I hope to have that by an answer for you by Monday. Later, everybody.
Hi, my name is Bijan Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring.
Touchdown!